Welcome to the Albert Road. I am Jordan, and today we're going to watch an interesting video, which is kind of in the gamer world, but I think it showcases kind of like the mentalities that you see in politics. I think like almost like one to one, like very reflective, if you ask me. But first, don't forget to share support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, check out the Discord link if you want to join that. And also the sources for some of these other things that I'm showing here will be in the description box. Uh, So before I play this Karl Jobs, whatever video, which I think is extremely interesting, very interesting as far as like behaviors of people that are kind of trying to take like something that you can like actually try to like intellectually navigate and turn it into something different. Uh, Before I get to that, I just want to show you just a couple clips here from Fuckface, Timmy Pool, Devil Worshipping Fuckface. Just a little bit, just certain words this guy and other people say. Here we go. And by the way, he has TPUSA Andrew Colvett on, the supposed close friend of Charlie Kirk. Let's play a little bit of this. Here we go.
But I see a video of ICE agent, CBP, or National Guard walking around Chicago. And my attitude is, oh, thank God. I see these guys. You know what your worst case scenario is? I know, Luke, you're going to have a heart attack over this one. You're going to be walking down the street, and there's going to be a National Guard guy, and he's going to go, excuse me, sir, you got a second? Can I see some ID real quick?
No.
And
I plead the fifth.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this, that maybe 20 years ago I'd have been like, I don't got to give you my ID. What is so all about? Maybe not even, to be completely honest. Because now, you know what my response is? I'll be like, is something going on? Yeah, sure, here's my ID. I appreciate that you guys are here. It's been crazy. Where I grew up in my neighborhood, if I had National Guard at the park and they said, you have an ID, I'd be like, no, I'm 16. And they'd be like, what are you doing? I'm hanging out with my friends. That's probably the end of it. The alternative is roving bands of gangbangers and people getting mugged, robbed, getting shot for no reason. There are some areas in Chicago where gangs, you have to join the gang if you live in their turf. So you're 13, they say join the gang. And how do you join the gang? You kill somebody. This stuff has to stop. And when Pritzker says there's no problem, we don't need this, 100 years, and they've never solved these problems, I will take anything I can get.
So Al Sharpton.
So, of course, 9/11 boy goes with Al Sharpton as the next response to this. No mentioning of, once again, the U.S. bringing drugs into these inner cities and kind of cultivating the whole gang violence idea of things. If you look at the original idea of gangs, they were like, you know, although still stupid, but it's more so like, you ever see like the movies with the white dudes with the leather jackets and they're, slicking their hair back and they get into knife fights and shit like that. It's like pretty isolated amongst a bunch of like, you know, probably poorer, you know, inner city kids. But instead, somehow these crazy guns and crazy drugs make it into these neighborhoods year after year. I mean, Trump's out there blowing up boats in Venezuela, but yet the problem persists. Crazy, huh? But I just wanted to show that Tim Pool will use the badge of like, hey, I'm moderately on the left. I'm center left. At the same time, happy that the thank you, sir. Thank you, National Guard, for being in our inner cities. Not just like in our cities, period. Thank God for them. Like, holy Christ, dude. And it's, a theme that's kind of repeated in these circles of politics where Timmy's pretending, in my opinion, I think he's pretending, he's lying to people, pretending to be like, some sort of free thinker in regards to all of this stuff. Just like this guy. This guy pretends to, in my opinion. But in reality, they're trying to shovel you and push you closer to kind of normalized subjugation. And if you think you're absolved from it, or you won't be involved, or you won't see that shit in your lifetime, or in your neighborhood, because maybe you make more money, or you live in a nicer neighborhood, or whatever the fuck, guess again. It's going to hit you in one form or another. And that has been proven. I just wanted to point out also, too, here, trust God, not government. And his supposed friend, just said, yeah, let's put the military on the streets. to deal with American citizens. Brilliant. Let's keep it moving here. All right, now we have the Andrew Colvett guy, uh, the PR guy for TPUSA, and obviously, supposed to be like a close friend of Charlie Kirk. Let's hear what he says here. Hopefully, this video doesn't just fucking rind or, you know, or refresh or whatever. Let's see. Here we go.
Well, no, we love the Catholics. Here's what I would say though. This is the other piece to that, and it ties into the story that kind of led us in here. You have to punish evil.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, really?
If you do not punish evil, society falls apart. You get more radicalization.
okay.
You get more vigilantism. You have to punish evil. And when those progressives that think it's really cool to commit violence, well, guess what? When they see their buddy that just got got the death penalty by the state, by the way, not some vigilante. When the state and the power of the sword that's been invested into our representative government, when they actually levy a charge and they follow through on it, and then we all bring the shame that somebody like this deserves upon that, we heap our scorn on these people, it's not nearly as cool.
I'll tell you one thing that really
interesting. And of course, the surrounding people, 9/11 boy who believes that the government or other governments or maybe multiple governments committed 9/11. That guy is a part of this conversation, not opening his fucking mouth at all. While this is happening, these words are being said in front of him, and he's almost like useless. Interesting, huh? Interesting. By the way, just want to point out, fake Christian, probably not a Christian, let's be honest. He's a government version of Christianity, which is not Christianity. As in, these fools run from Jesus if that fool showed up. I really want that understood. Well, I personally want that understood. You don't have to. That's what I really believe. That if the character from the Bible, from the New Testament or whatever the fuck, the Jesus guy shows up, the Gnostic Gospels, whatever the fuck you want to point to, the idea of that character, a hero character, shows up, these guys run and find ways to PR their ways, or PR their way to safety. I almost guarantee that. But don't worry. It'll trick plenty amount of people anyways. It is what it is. So, okay. Let's keep it moving. I just wanted to show that because, I don't know, I think I hate everyone. And that's my reason for showing that. Like, yeah. Even people that called, like, Charlie a friend or say they want cleaned up streets. I want the streets, like, healthy and clean. Somehow their answers are always something that creates more harm than anything else. Repeatedly. It's just very frustrating to look at and see the apathy that exists on planet Earth about it. Oh, whatever, it's just temple, whatever. Like, they don't, like, I think it's a sense of people not caring about themselves. I really do think that's, like, why these things happen. It's because, I'm Bob from fucking Idaho. Who cares about me? Right? But they have all this attention span and care for these characters on their screen, right? From 9/11 boy to fucking TPUSA boy to fucking Timmy Pool, right? To this fucking guy. All of them, I think, are trying to trick people, but yet, somehow, like, people that might be full of shit or lying to you is somehow more important than you are, which is crazy. That is batshit crazy, actually. And it's actually pathological. To me. So, yeah, whatever. Let's keep it moving. Let's move on to the video. It's like, shut up, man. Just play the video. All right, here we go. Here's this Karl Jobst guy. I might be fucking his name up. Jobst? The guy does, like, he covers, like, speed running videos or cheaters. He makes his content that way. Very, or at least what it looks like on the surface, very thorough in the way he covers these things. I'll give him credit for that. And there's this whole scandal with this person called Catgirl or Riley CS. And there's someone who apparently, like, because the Karl guy set this up, actually. because people are not everyone's a gamer. But let me set this up. The Karl guy did a video on this Catgirl person. Let me see. When did they do this? A month ago, right? And within this video, it showcases that, you know, maybe this person's not cheating, right, in a video game, right? Maybe there's like, they're aimers, right? They fucking flick from one target to another, although it can look like it's robotic or like, damn, how do people do that? Like, well, no, that is possible. It's called just flicking. And if she's in dog shit lobbies, why not? You know, maybe that person can just do that. But the Karl guy made a convincing argument of how this person's not cheating. Now, in response to that, we have this other person called Call of Shame. Now, this person, if you played Call of Duty and looked in the hacker hunting community, you'd recognize that that guy, to me at least, is full of shit. If you have an ounce of brain cells, you'd recognize that guy's full of shit. But it continues on going. This person, whoever they are, wherever they come from, they continue on. They can make an allegation one day, forget about it, and move on to the next target the next. And it's so much like politics. It's so much like it. Even the argumentation and the reliance on how dumb the audience is. There is a reliance on that from people like Call of Shame, or even Asmongold, or even this other person. What's his name? Tectone, Tentacion, whatever his fucking name. You'll see him. Don't worry. The bald dude with the American flag in the background. Yeah. These guys remind me so much of the political world. We're going to have almost like bot-style creators somehow gaining legitimacy through the audience because people don't stop and think for a fucking second. They just buy in. And it's so absurd, especially in this case. It's so absurd, and the arguments are just like, he just destroys everything they have. Whatever these people are claiming to have, he destroys it. And it's like, I want to showcase to you that even in a world that feels like, oh, gaming, that's irrelevant. Whatever, that's just gaming over there. Even if you feel that way, the same type of psychological phenomenon still happens over there. Because there's no barrier for people being full of shit until someone goes out of their way to showcase that this person's full of shit. Then you realize, oh, fuck, how did I fall for this? Almost like the Trump phenomenon, actually. Or Obama phenomenon, or whatever. Whatever your political liking is, you might fall into a trap. But, all right. Without further ado, let's watch this thing. I've already watched it, so this is not really a reaction. This is a, hey, guys, look at this. That's what this is. It's a, hey, over there, look at that. What do you guys think? So hopefully, the political people that watch this channel, hopefully stick around to see what the fuck this looks like. And if you're only into politics and you watch, I swear to God, you will see some heavy parallels. Heavy parallels. So without further ado, let's play this. Karl Jobst, Catgirl officially banned for cheating. Or is she?
Hello, you absolute legends. A few weeks ago, I released a video covering the alleged Battlefield 6 cheater Riley CS, where I went through and debunked the biggest myths and misconceptions that were being spread. And at the end of the video, I said this. On the flip side, Riley hasn't been banned in-game, which could be used as evidence that she isn't cheating, especially given that according to their anti-cheat team, they have already prevented over 300,000 attempts to cheat already. Well, shortly after I released that video, I started getting flooded with comments saying that Riley had been officially banned. I even got comments saying that Riley had confessed and had been kicked off her team. And indeed, it has been confirmed that Riley CS was banned in-game by EA. And we know that Riley was banned because this video said she was. So, I guess that's that. Case closed. Riley is a confirmed cheater. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next. Well, you know what? I guess while we're here, maybe I should quickly double check that video just to make sure there is some evidence to support that claim, because it is a pretty big claim. I mean, I know that someone would never lie on the internet, so it's obviously going to be a huge waste of time, but these days one of my character flaws is that I tend not to believe what people say unless they prove it. I learned my lesson the hard way. Given the title of the video, I expect there to be something like a screenshot or a video showing that Riley's account was banned. And
showcase that again. Now, this Catgirl person, Riley CS or whatever, is trans, I believe. I don't fucking know. I've only ever seen their hands, but I'm guessing they're trans. And the Call of Shame person is, once again, introducing politics into this scenario to where he crosses out the word girl there. Because I guess they're trans. Like, you're not a girl. And kind of, I think he says the word he so many fucking times. Now, if you're in that ilk of politics, I guess, where it's like, no, you're not a man, you're a girl. You're not a girl, you're a man. If you're in that lane, okay, I understand. It's not a hill for me to, like, live or die on, personally. But, like, if someone wants to be called whatever they want to be called, as long as you're not harming anyone, I don't give a shit. What do you want to be named? Cool. If someone's like, hey, Tom, like, I'm not Tom, I'm Tommy, okay? Call me Tommy. I'll do that. No problem. But fuckfaces go out of their way to relinquish their empathy because they get room to do so because of other dumb fucks, right? Man of the time shit. You live in a dumb fuck world, and you use like, oh, see, look, you know, all these people are okay with me doing this, so you know what? I'll do it too. Which lacks like, or it lacks a whole bunch of things. Lacks wisdom, lacks foresight. You know, it's kind of just lazy morality, if you ask me. But either way, it's like, you can see like the kind of the culture warrior thing as an aspect to all of this. And I'm telling you, the parallels to politics are absolutely interesting and incredible to me. But don't worry, it's just stupid video games. Here we go.
Better be something like a screenshot or a video showing that Riley's account was banned. And the evidence must be pretty good because other larger creators were spreading it as if it were gospel. So let's see what Call of Shame's evidence is.
As you all know, the video caused a massive uproar because it clearly proved he was using cheats. When the beta ended, the clip spread everywhere, and EA was absolutely aware of it. Normally, EA shares highlight clips from the community on their social channels, but they stayed silent on this one. Why? Because they know something was off. It would be a PR disaster if they outright banned him, and it would be worse if they defended the cheater like Call of Duty often stupidly do.
You already know it's a dweeb.
It's a lose-lose scenario for them, and I understand that. But getting back to the alleged ban, look at what happened when Riley tried to play the beta in the second week after the video went viral. Every time he got into a match, he was kicked out within seconds.
Did my game just fucking crash? My game just crashed. Nice. Guys, what is wrong with Battlefield 6?
He tried to boot it up again and was kicked for the second time.
Close my fucking game.
Wait, should we leave?
The cheater now tried to repair the game files as he desperately attempts to log into the account that has been soft banned.
We need to ramp up the moderation.
He made it into a match, and yet again, the account was flagged and the game crashed.
I was getting a shout out from two big YouTubers, I guess. Dude, the door... My game...
He tries again, and for the fourth time in a row, his account was blocked from playing Battlefield 6.
Terrible news, my game crashed again.
What the fuck?
These goddamn anime kids, bro.
To the point where he had to log out and switch to an alternate account.
Whatever.
On that account, he was able to play normally. The cheater was banned by Javelin Anti-Cheat, just not in a way that creates headlines.
Okay, so let me get this straight. EA thought Riley was cheating and wanted to ban her, but they were afraid to do it in a way that was obvious, so they rigged her account to crash shortly after getting into games, forcing her to switch to a different account. I have to admit, on its face, this sounds really, really, really stupid. Call of Shame is just making insane conspiratorial claims with no evidence at all. There was no evidence presented that she was banned, and Call of Shame has no idea what EA is thinking or doing. He doesn't have a statement from them, and they haven't said anything publicly. He is just making things up. And this is just a surface level glance. We haven't even investigated whether or not these claims are true. And spoiler alert, aside from saying that Riley's game was crashing, everything else Call of Shame said was a complete lie. Riley wasn't banned, and she wasn't using a different account. These are Riley's stats for the first weekend of the beta, and the account name is TTV Riley CS. And these are the stats for the exact same account for the second beta. So clearly the account wasn't banned. But Call of Shame said she was using a different account, and his proof was that the in-game name had changed.
During the first week of the beta, he was rage hacking on the account TTV Riley CS. As a result, that account was not allowed to participate in the second week. He was forced to switch over to his alternate account where he had no issues playing for the entire length of the beta. As soon as he changed accounts, the problem magically fixed itself. So yeah, it does appear that that TTV account seems to have been soft banned for sure.
Well, the name changed
Now, I'm telling you, bro. If you looked into the whole Call of Duty and hacker hunters and cheating scandals and all that shit, bro, you'd hear of the Call of Duty person. Or, sorry, Call of Shame person. And god dang is there, I mean, dumb fuckery to the max. But yet, here's the interesting part. Like what I saw, they got the following of followings. Their following just trounced everyone else. And that's part of the moral of this story here, is that you wait until this Carl guy starts talking about Call of Shame, like the background of it, and that guy is the most followed person of all of them. And no, it's not like maybe there's a lot of bots there, possibly like you know, what's it called, like enhancing your account with bots and shit like that, paying for subscribers and views. But then you look at it, and some of the biggest names in gaming streaming and gaming/political streaming, these guys are also they're watching Call of Shame. The guys with the biggest followings are watching the Call of Shame guy and substantiating what he's saying without any. And it's like, doesn't this shit happen in politics? Maybe there's a reason why I showed Timmy Pool or Andrew Colvett, the TPUSA guy, or even Luke Rudkowski, the 9/11 boy. Maybe there's a reason why those names, I showed those names. And it's like, huh. It's almost like life's begging for critical thinking, even when you're doing something as silly as just gaming. It's not silly. I actually take gaming pretty seriously as like a work of art. It is a work of art. If something sucks, I call it out as sucking. Just like movies and music and TV and all that stuff. It's like, there's no way around it. Life is like, maybe because of the amount of voices out there, because of the internet or whatever, but every little genre or medium you want to look over, life is begging the questions, and a lot of people are not hearing the call, if you will. The call. Shot the Game of Thrones, except for season 8 and 7. Either way, let's keep playing. I assume I'm speaking Chinese. Let's keep playing. Here we go.
Because Riley stopped launching the game through the EA launcher and switched to the Steam launcher. When you launch Battlefield 6 through the EA launcher, your in-game name will reflect your EA account name, which in this case was TTV Riley CS. However, if you launch the game through Steam, it will reflect your Steam name, which in this case is just Riley CS. 2 seconds of research would give you this information. It was actually a pretty big problem. Many people were complaining that EA were giving them warnings because of their Steam name, and some people even had their EA account suspended because EA didn't like their Steam name. All that happened here is that Riley's game was crashing through the EA launcher, which was a common problem. So she switched to the Steam launcher and it worked. That is why the name changed.
At this point, just use Steam. I'm in borderless
Steam
window.
doesn't have the overlay issue, by the way.
That makes sense. Yeah, that might be the method then.
Yeah, I was curious if because of the overlay problem, if Steam just had like perma worse performance than the EA app version, and it's actually the opposite. It just never has that issue.
Okay, well, we're gonna get a game installing stream, part 2.
Just know that when you launch the game via Steam, it shows your Steam name.
That's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't let you back out sometimes.
Did you do any config pause for your FPS? I did during the first beta, but then I had to reinstall my game today to go from EA to Steam, because the EA one just kept crashing, and I haven't done the config since then.
And if you search for Riley's Steam name, the one that shows in the game, EA will say that account doesn't exist. All of the stats for the second weekend show under the EA account name TTV Riley CS, the exact same account that showed her stats for the first weekend. And you can see here in footage of Riley's EA account that the Steam name account matches the name that showed in-game. There are multiple levels of deception in Call of Shame's claim. He lied about Riley being banned. He lied about her using multiple accounts, and then based on those lies came up with an insane tinfoil hat conspiracy theory about EA being too scared to ban her, and therefore they devised some bizarre plan of making her game crash at random times because they were afraid of making headlines. And people actually took this guy seriously. And by people, I don't just mean random morons on the internet. I mean huge reaction streamers like Tectone and Asmongold, who watched several of his videos. And Tectone and Asmongold are basically like baby birds with their mouths open, just eagerly gulping down whatever half-digested garbage Call of Shame decided to regurgitate up for them. They both question nothing and believe everything is fact without any hesitation. And their explicit acceptance of Call of Shame's videos then spreads to their audience, who blindly believe them also. In this case, the stakes couldn't be lower. We are just discussing whether or not some random person on the internet is cheating in a video game. However, I care less about the content and more about the implication that so many people are willing to believe whatever they are told without evidence. And then they will go even...
Interesting, huh? Interesting. Just believe whatever they are told without evidence. Oh fuck! Now the thank you for fucking his name. Tectone, Tectosh, Tentashion, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know that guy as well, but Asmongold actually tried like reacting to some of this stuff like early on, and as time went by, I'm like, this guy, why am I reacting to this? I don't know if he's trolling or what's he? Is he grifting? Is he trolling? When he started like talking about politics and shit like that, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's a dumb fuck rat boy, right up. But guess what? He's even fucking over people in the gaming world. So leisurely on my free time, I'm just gaming. Right? This guy's fucking people over there. And there's a reason why this video we're watching is an hour and a half, because there is so much there. That's like, what do you do now? Should Asmon and Tentacion offer a serious apology? What should they do? Because this person, this Riley CS or Catgirl, whatever the fuck their name is, a clip of them went like mega viral, like almost 100 million views, right? Now, maybe initially they're like, oh, fuck, are my clips that good? I'm blowing up. But instead it became something else. And then they start leaning into the more the political culture warrior shit, where it's like, oh, look, if I had to guess, it's the leftist brain worms or something like that. Trans leftist brain worms. I could almost, I'm not saying that's the case, but I can almost guess that. Which is, once again, another unfortunate happening in life. Instead of people looking for authenticity, they look for teams and silos to join. So you can hook up with Rat Boy over here. Good God. Hey, man. individualism, where you're out there in the wilderness on your own, yes, can feel very threatening and scary, right? It can. But guess what? When you get on the other side of the fucking mountain, it's the most beautiful experience in human existence. And no one can change my mind on that one. But instead, you know, a lot of people like want to sit close to the rat and get their warmth from him. I'm just saying, you're more valuable than you realize you are, you fucking dummies. Someone's got to tell you. So I'm going to call you a fucking idiot for doing that. Either way, let's continue. And yeah.
Many people are willing to believe whatever they are told without evidence. And then they will go even further and attack me and claim that I am a mindless defender because I don't do the same. I am less a defender of Riley as I am a defender of logic and not jumping to conclusions. I have never once said that Riley didn't cheat, and I even said that a reasonable person would look at her footage and assume it's cheated. It's just that I'm not personally convinced. But many people were angered by this. And in fact, things are getting a bit too insidious for my liking. Listen to this.
When Karl Jobst put out a video attempting to defend Riley CS, I was honestly confused because he has some actually pretty amazing videos, and then I quickly realized why he did it. If you're going to make an impartial video, you should never let a blatant cheater dictate how you tell your story.
I made many points in my video, and Call of Shame addressed none of them. Instead, he just asserted that I was defending Riley because I talked to her. Or rather, he asserts the mere fact that I allowed her to speak with me means that I'm biased and everything can be discarded. Let me be clear, this is an evil philosophy, but watch how it spreads. Tectone reacted to Call of Shame's video, and look at how he responded.
When Karl Jobst put out a video attempting to defend Riley CS,
Oh, this guy went in on me. Yep, trying to farm some really big internet updates. Yep. Oh, he said Tectone bad in 2025. Plus 1,000 karma. Good
This guy's
lord,
a
man. The
fucking
moment a
tweet,
video
by the
starts
way.
out with Asmon and Tectone bad, I'm like, I'm good. And you know what's crazy? He said both of those things in this video. Yep, why wouldn't he?
Now,
This guy's a fucking dweeb, by the way. See him in the bottom right hand corner? Full blown dweeby. Little dweeby little fuckface dude. You can smell it. Okay, don't trust me on that. My my intuitive belief. I'm like, oh, this guy's a fucking little dweeby little fuckface. That's my intuition about it. Forgive me. He just comes off that way. But also, like, there's this idea that I try to bring up. Timu Eminem. A little bit. He looks a little bit too foreign. Whatever. There's this idea that I bring up when I talk about politics, which is when I hear people they don't lead with empathy, I look at them sideways instantly. Like where there's no mention, maybe not lead, but like no mention of something empathetic, of considering the other person's perspective or where they're from or whatever, anything, right? How they're feeling. No care about that at all. I assume you're a little fuckface. That me like being hypocritical? Whatever. The point is, when I hear argumentations about people and who they are and what they're doing and all that shit, I want to hear some empathy about it. Like, hey, maybe they're like this. Maybe this is the case. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they, were tired of it all and just start cheating because they want to get famous really quickly. They don't have, delayed gratification or some shit like that. Right? And I'm telling you, when it comes to something like gaming, like there's no... What's the point of having a filter? Because in their worlds, they don't matter. In their minds and in their world, they don't matter exactly. I mean, they do it in politics too. Like, I don't know about this guy, but definitely Asmongold, where they just leap into certain directions with no care for the other. But in gaming, it's like, oh, who cares? It's just gaming. Gaming's stupid. Who cares? It's frivolous fun time. But in reality, this whole story is showing that it's not just frivolous fun time. You guys do actually matter when you're talking about, even when you're just strictly talking about gaming. But then again, welcome to planet Earth. Here we go.
First, Tectone is a blatant liar. I never said he was bad. I made no personal
different when
attacks
it's
in the
gaming.
video
No, it's not.
whatsoever to a single person. In fact, I never even said his or Asmongold's name. All I did was show 2 clips of Tectone and disagreed with his logic about whether or not you could tell if Riley could track someone through a rock. I made no comments directed at him or about him at all. So imagine that. All I do is disagree about whether or not you could tell if Riley was tracking someone through a rock, and in response, Tectone lies to his audience. He tells them that I said he and Asmongold were bad, and that I went in on him hard. He lies and does this to get his audience to hate me, simply because we disagreed on some point that, in the grand scheme of things, is meaningless. Which makes it especially ironic when he leaves YouTube and blames other people for being toxic. But again,
But also, I just want to say, these guys know. These content creators like this fuckface and Asmongold, these guys know that when they say certain things or say certain opinions, they know the audience is going to follow them. Right? They're aware of that. So instead of, once again, leading with empathy to say, hey guys, these are just my opinions, like, don't go crazy about this, don't bother this person, which they should be aware of, I would think, because it's probably happened to them with like rival content creators. You know, but maybe they did. I just didn't see it, or maybe Karl didn't put it in his video. I'll be fair. Let's continue.
it's even worse. Tectone agreed to let Riley speak with me.
Yep.
And then I quickly realized why he did it. If you're going to make an impartial video, you should never let a blatant cheater dictate how you tell your story.
Yep. Yep.
This was shocking to me, given that Tectone has an American flag hanging on his wall. He even wants an American flag tattoo.
Getting more tattoos. You're probably getting a collarbone tattoo and getting all this arm.
He's a
Getting the
dweeb. Look
American
at him.
flag pretty soon with
Full-blown dweeb.
a little bit more than the American flag, but I'm very excited about that.
I believe it is immoral to not allow the accused person to defend themselves, and that's also why it's in the Constitution. Of course, this isn't a real trial, but this is the court of public opinion, and the philosophy should still apply. But Tectone seems to disagree. Tectone pretends to believe in American values, but when he wants to attack someone, giving them any rights is seen as a bad thing. And if his principles crumble to dust this quickly and easily over something as significant as this, just imagine what would happen over something more serious. Asmongold also just blindly agreed.
Oh, wait, this video is perfect because I don't know the Karl Jobst guy's Jobst, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know his politics at all. So it'd be interesting to see if like people view him as on the left, these guys on the right, or some sort of like create their own culture war out of it instead of like, well, what's correct and what's incorrect. That'd be interesting. Because I lean towards neither side. I'm just Jordan. I just pick out. I go towards what I like, pretty simply and strictly. But here we go. That would just be very interesting to see the war play out. It's like, because this happens in other videos where like I'll say something in the first like 4 minutes of the video, even though it's like a 30-minute video. In the first 4 minutes, I'll say something where it's like, I don't trust this guy, I don't like him, and they automatically assume you're one denomination or a next, and they judge the rest of your video based on that. Not watching it, they'll just say like, "Oh, fuck you fucking liberal." I'm like, what? Meanwhile, they wouldn't survive here. That's why they run away. I respond to them, they disappear because they wouldn't survive here. They're probably slightly embarrassed, but don't worry, no one's watching, and they don't mean, according to themselves, I care more about them than they probably care about themselves. It's a little secret. Shh. Don't worry about it. Let's hit play.
Would happen over something more serious. Asmongold also just blindly agrees with Call of Shame and doesn't bat an eyelid when he claims that me talking to Riley made me unreliable.
I was honestly confused because he has some actually pretty amazing videos.
He does.
And then I quickly realized why he did it. If you're going to make an impartial video, you should never let a blatant cheater dictate how you tell your story.
I would be happy to talk.
Wait. Is that Teddy? Oh, Teddy.
Yeah.
I am recording, just so you know. At the very least, watch this fucking video. I mean, the amount, like, the rabbit hole is real. Here we go.
Oh, is it a different
Why
one?
he
Okay.
did it.
Yeah, this is the second
If
part
you're
2.
going to make an impartial
Oh,
video,
shit.
you should never
I'm ready.
let a blatant cheater dictate how you tell your story.
One sec.
I would be happy to talk and share my side of everything. Oh, so we just talked to him. Well, I guess, big surprise.
Now, I think if you sat down with Tectone or
Take furling
Asmongold and had a
eyebrows,
respectful
fuckface.
conversation about due process and why it's important, they would actually agree that an accused person should be allowed to defend themselves. But clearly, they have allowed this situation to not only turn them into a pathetic liar, as is the case with Tectone, but to completely oppose something as inarguably necessary for a healthy society as communication and due process. As it stands, these people do not want a proper investigation. They already have their conclusion, and they are only interested in hearing evidence that conforms to their existing beliefs. The mere
Does that sound like politics, guys? Here we go.
are only interested in hearing evidence that conforms to their existing beliefs. The mere possibility of Riley providing any counter-evidence to me is triggering to them. And in my opinion, just this one point alone, the fact that they don't want me talking to Riley at all, is enough to prove that they do not care about the truth whatsoever, and simply have an agenda. Now, with that out of the way, let's expose more of Call of Shame's lies. Legends, back in the day when I was maturing into a dashing young
my
man,
ad times.
there were two
Fuck your dads. Fuck
a
your
personal
ads.
help from having no idea what's going on.
Yeah, if you wanna do
fully
coding,
understand and
learn
want a
that
career
shit.
in back-end these needs. 5% off your Ask Money back. First, we need to address the elephant in the room. Call of Shame is an AI channel. We need to go no further than the fact that it's voiced by an AI. It's not even a real
is.
person. So it's pretty funny that anyone, let alone large content creators, would watch any of these videos and take them seriously. But I suppose my standards must be too high. Historically, Riley has been banned twice on Twitch. Once recently after her montage went super viral on Twitter.
Sorry, I just want to say, I don't just dismiss people because if they put out like 10 videos and none of them are bullshit, maybe I don't watch the 10th video, right? But at the same time, I don't dismiss it as false because I didn't watch it myself. That makes sense. But here we go.
Large content creators would watch any of these videos and take them seriously. But I suppose my standards must be too high. Historically, Riley has been banned twice on Twitch. Once recently after her montage went super viral on Twitter, and once back in October of 2024. Let's listen to what Call of Shame has to say about Riley's ban last year.
Catgirl was actually banned for 7 days on Twitch back in 2024. Now, back then, Twitch were extremely lenient for cheating. So if you got a 7-day ban for cheating, you were absolutely 100%
It gets crazy, Teddy. Trust me.
There's
It gets
no
crazy.
debate. This was a 7-day ban for cheating in a multiplayer game. And people are still defending him. Wake up, you bunch of morons.
He asserts that if you're banned by Twitch, that you are 100% cheating. According to Call of Shame, there has never been an instance where someone was incorrectly banned. And I guess that's why Twitch doesn't even give streamers the chance to appeal their bans. Because if they are banned in the first place, there is a 100% chance they are cheating. Well, except for that little tiny detail that Twitch does actually allow streamers to appeal their bans, because mistakes do happen. And funnily enough, after Riley was banned in October of 2024, she appealed, and her appeal was accepted. Her original ban was on October 18th. After appealing, Riley received an email on October 22nd saying that the ban was due to a mistake, with Twitch saying, "A member of our team has reviewed your appeal and determined that your account was suspended or blocked due to a mistake on our part." But I don't get it. This can't be true. Call of Shame said Twitch never makes mistakes. Twitch is basically God. Call of Shame also lied and said that the appeal of this ban was...
By the way, Teddy, I had no idea about any of it because I saw the guy's like content early on. I'm like, this guy's trash, and I walked away. But the way this Call of Shame guy, yeah, and the way this Carl dude goes into all this shit, I'm like, oh my fucking god, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There we go.
denied, and Riley served the full suspension.
As everyone knows, back in 2024, he was banned on Twitch for 7 days for cheating. He appealed the ban, but the appeal was denied.
Again, this is just a lie plucked out of thin air. It really needs to be stressed again that this is an AI slop channel producing a video every single day. It's impossible to do proper investigations and make videos this quickly at the same time. The only way slop channels can produce content so quickly is by doing no research, making things up, and hastily pasting together videos with enough padding as they can muster. And their audience is entirely made up of gullible people who don't understand how this slop machine works. In the case of the most recent ban, Call of Shame made a video titled "Leaked Twitch Document Confirms Catgirl Cheated," and he shows an email from Twitch saying the appeal was denied.
Newly obtained evidence indicates he was banned for cheating, served the full length of the ban, and had his appeal denied after a manual review of his gameplay and submission. They lied to you. All of them. They said he appealed, and that Twitch reviewed his gameplay and lifted the ban, but that's nonsense. His appeal was denied, both times. And in both cases, Riley had to serve the entire length of his ban for cheating in multiplayer games.
Notice how he claims that people said Riley appealed and Twitch reviewed the gameplay and lifted the ban, though doesn't produce a single piece of evidence to support this claim whatsoever, or any examples. And I couldn't find anyone saying this claim myself. But more importantly, look at this email. Notice anything strange. Riley's name is misspelled, and the formatting doesn't match a Twitch email at all. The formatting is completely scrambled, and there are no hyperlinks. This email is completely fake. What's interesting though is that Riley did actually appeal this recent ban, and it was denied. Here is the real email from Twitch. And what's incredible is that the real email wasn't even leaked. The YouTuber Enders made a video on October 12th, where he shows the real email and says that the appeal was denied.
Riley got the Twitch channel that they stream on mass reported and falsely banned. When I emphasize falsely banned because of this clip, right? And here's the appeal. Here's the initial ban that Riley sent me. The appeal was denied, right? And Riley's Twitch account was, I think, suspended for 24 hours. As of recording this video, Riley is unbanned, so they will be back to streaming.
Then Call of Shame, 2.5 weeks later, on the 29th of August, makes a video titled Leaked Twitch Document, where, as echoed in the description of the video, he proclaims that he is revealing leaked screenshots proving that the appeal was denied, and also claiming that Riley defenders were lying and saying the opposite. And while doing so, showing a fake email. It's all incredibly bizarre to me. But again, this is what happens when AI is used so heavily to make a video. After getting called out for using a fabricated email, Call of Shame scrambled to find an excuse. And this is what he came up with.
In a recent video, I showed a document confirming that Riley CS was banned for cheating in multiplayer games. It also shows that he appealed, and the appeal was denied, meaning a manual review was conducted, and the reviewers were not satisfied with his gameplay. This is huge, as it completely refutes the arguments of mass reports, as it was a manual review. To make the screenshot easier to read, I ran it through a digital enhancer. In the process, the tool removed the mouse pointer and accidentally clipped the final S in the username, so Riley CS...
It wasn't a novel, right? This is just like a small email. What fucking thing are you plugging that into to make it easier to read? I don't understand.
Trying to cover it up.
I don't know what that means. It's like 3 paragraphs. You need to clean this up so the audience understands all the technical terms of, hey there, Riley. We looked at your appeal and like, okay. Thank you for uncomplicating it for us, fuckface.
Appears as Riley C. That's the only change. The screenshot isn't fake or manipulated to mislead. The enhancer simply misread the pointer and trimmed a letter.
This is all simple. This email is not.
Bro. Yeah, you actually think that's gonna fly? Oh yeah, they're gonna believe this. God damn it, dude.
I put it through the AI thingamajig to make things easier to read, and yeah, they got rid of that S, that one S there.
Jesus Christ.
Trust me, everything else is legit. I'm telling you, this shit flies in politics. I swear to God it does. Here we go.
An enhanced version. As in, AI was not
Yeah,
used to
enhanced.
upscale it or make it better quality. It's completely different. The
Look how
formatting
short
is
the fucking
changed.
thing is.
The name is different. There are no hyperlinks. It's not enhanced, it's manufactured. Then Call of Shame says that the email isn't fake and that it wasn't fabricated because Enders had shown a similar email
there's more.
previously.
For those who still doubt it, even Enders, the super simp,
This is the
has
shore
shown the
right
same
now. We're not even
documents
in the fucking
confirming that
ocean yet.
Riley was banned for cheating in multiplayer games. Ironically, while trying to argue he wasn't. And no, I'm not joking.
Riley got the Twitch channel that they stream on mass reported and falsely banned. When I emphasize falsely banned because of this clip, right? And here's the appeal. Here's the initial ban that Riley sent me. The appeal was denied, right? And Riley's Twitch account was, I think, suspended for 24 hours.
So there you have it.
Though it seems pretty obvious to me that Call of Shame didn't know that Enders had shown this email 2.5 weeks earlier. Otherwise, why would he title his video Leaked Twitch Document and claim that he was the one revealing it? And why would he post on his YouTube a picture of this screenshot a day before his video saying the plot thickens, as if this was some kind of new revelation? Well, the real reason is because just a day before Call of Shame's video, a post on Reddit got a lot of traction that showed a screenshot of the email taken from Ender's video, claiming that it was a leak. So naturally, the AI slop channel that doesn't do any actual research immediately made a video claiming there was a leak. And then because AI is used so much by this channel, instead of just using the actual email itself, it made a brand new one, mistakes and all. There are many things to unpack from this, but the best case scenario is that the Call of Shame channel will fabricate and manipulate evidence instead of using the real thing. And because it's so low effort, they can't even be bothered to notice the name is misspelled and the formatting has been destroyed. Again, this is not AI enhancement, this is using AI to make a brand new email. And if the channel is willing to create an entirely new email and tamper with evidence, what other evidence is it manipulating and creating? Well, as it turns out, a ton. Call of Shame does this all the time. For example, when talking about external crosshairs, he calls them a cheat and says that the creator of the external crosshair that Riley uses says not to use it because it's cheating, and displays this quote on screen.
EA's website clearly states this is not allowed. Even the site that offers this overlay tells you do not use it in Battlefield titles. The anti-cheat will ban you for it. And why? Because it's cheating. So when anyone tells you it's not cheating, they are flat out lying.
However, if you go to
gives a shit about custom fucking crosshairs.
Yeah.
Like some people want like tiny little things that they can fucking see more of the field of view and all that shit. Others want like, you know, a big crosshair or some shit like that. So they can like it's just personal preference. Nothing to do with fucking cheating at all.
Cause look, some monitors have that built in. So what do you do then?
Okay. So like maybe like a smart monitor or some shit like that, I guess.
Yeah, like it's been a thing for a while.
Okay.
So it's like, how is that cheating when monitors have that shit built in? Doesn't make any sense.
Because it's not cheating, and this guy is pumping out content daily. Yeah. And by the way, even if he's getting like 50,000 views per video, that's a good amount of money.
Yeah.
It's like tie that to a job, you have extra expenditures, or even rent itself, right?
Yeah.
Like you're making real money. So would it be crazy for someone to make a channel like this where they just I mean, the Karl guy implies like, yeah, he's just plugging shit into AI machines, creating content for him and shit like that. Like, that's not too crazy to me. That doesn't sound too crazy, but trust me, we're at the beginning of the rabbit hole. Well, let's keep going. Here we go.
The HUDsite website, and look at where this quote is pulled from, the context is completely different. The actual quote begins with, HUDsite is not a cheat. It doesn't change game files or gameplay. So of course, knowing that he can't show you the real website, Call of Shame creates this fancy-looking partial quote from scratch. He then proceeds to provide an apparent quote directly from EA.
Even Battlefield themselves state, Do not use any third-party programs and external overlays, because they will get you banned. The amount of bots trying to justify this is hilarious. It comes down to a skill issue. If you're not good enough...
Wait, where does this
just
come
say
from?
so.
What is the context of this statement right here?
This EA screenshot thing?
Yeah, this screenshot. What are they saying here? Like, is this for the full game or for like an NDA?
I don't know. I don't know.
A playtest or some shit.
I think the Karl guy goes directly. The Karl guy goes directly to their site about. No, that's from Karl Jobst still, but this is right here, right?
Yeah.
HUD site is not a cheat. It doesn't change games, files, or gameplay. It just draws on overlay, like Steam or Origin Services or some other tools. But please make sure that the terms of service of a game you play do not deny such enhancement. For example, Punkbuster Anti-Cheat Service gave annual bans for the screenshots of custom crosshairs in old Battlefield 2 and 2142 games. So, okay, I guess it's like depending on things, and if they, I guess, manually like see your content doing that, maybe.
Okay, so that might be legit then. That EA photo there. Okay,
here we go.
HUD site is not a cheat. It doesn't change game files or gameplay. So of course, knowing that he can't show you the real website, Call of Shame creates this fancy-looking partial quote from scratch. He then proceeds to provide an apparent quote directly from EA.
Even Battlefield themselves state, do not use any third-party programs and external overlays, because they will get you banned. The amount of bots trying to justify this is hilarious. It comes down to a skill issue. If you're not good enough, just say so.
Now, I just want to say, like, remember the original, like, accusations, right? And now it looks like he's, like, searching for, like, he is a cheater. I'll show you how they're cheating. I'll show you. Right? Like, after the first claim gets denied, then you have to, like, switch to something else and just keep moving the fucking goalpost over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me, but here we go.
However, this quote doesn't seem to exist anywhere, or at least I couldn't find it. Nor could I find any comment from EA regarding external overlays. This quote appears to be completely made up. Call of Shame also quickly flashes EA's terms of service, claiming that
if you're not programs and external overlays, because they will get you banned. The amount of bots trying to justify this is hilarious. It comes down to a skill issue. If you're not good enough, just say so.
However, this quote doesn't seem to exist anywhere, or at least I
what was I asking just now?
Nor could I find any comment from EA.
It is fucking fake. Jesus Christ, dude.
Ted, it's not fake. It's AI enhanced.
True. Yeah, AI enhanced. My fault.
To make it more clear for us to understand. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Call.
Holy shit. Oh my god, dude.
I promise you, we are at the beginning of this rabbit hole. It gets so much. I watched this whole thing. It gets so much worse.
Can't fucking wait. God damn it.
Here we go.
Regarding external overlays, this quote appears to be completely made up. Call of Shame also quickly flashes EA's terms of service, claiming that it clearly states crosshair overlays aren't allowed.
EA's website clearly states this is not allowed.
However, when you read them, there is no mention of overlays whatsoever. I guess you can try to argue that an external overlay is a modification of the game's interface. However, you could just as easily argue that it's not a modification of the game interface itself, but rather a modification to your physical hardware. In this case, the monitor. In practice, it would be the same as physically drawing a crosshair on your monitor or placing a physical object onto your screen. Something that speedrunners have been doing for decades. But more importantly than anything, these rules are prefaced with two words. EA believes. Not what you believe, but what EA believes. And the only way to know what EA believes in regards to external crosshairs in Battlefield 6 is for EA to make a statement on them, which they have not yet done. Now, going back to Riley's most recent Twitch suspension, when Twitch suspends your channel, it tells you which VOD was the culprit. And in Riley's case, the stream she was banned over was titled "Poor Cam to Prove I'm Not Cheating." And those of you who are particularly astute will see why this is of note. The original clip montage that made everyone say Riley is cheating didn't have a hand cam. So Riley wasn't banned because of the montage that people are claiming was cheated. It was actually the stream after. And you might say that perhaps the later stream with handcam was also cheated, and that might be true. But there is an expert that disagrees. There is a very trusted figure who has conducted thorough investigations on Riley's play that says her gameplay with the handcam is not cheating.
Just snap on everyone and shit on them.
This Catgirl person put out a new clip trying to prove he doesn't cheat. But let's be honest, this is just normal gameplay. All I see is someone standing still and spraying with a light machine gun. Everybody does that. It's nothing special. Where are the snaps? Where's the aimbot?
I swear this kid's a
It's
bot,
a desperate attempt to convince people he's doing the same thing, but it's not even close.
I believe it. 100%.
What he showed here is
we'll
very different.
Hilariously, because Call of
little
Shame
bit, we'll
doesn't
find
do
out a
any
little bit.
actual investigation and therefore doesn't have access to important information, he will say things that are completely self-defeating and not even realize it. The reality is that Twitch didn't ban Riley for that famous montage or the stream that produced it. No one really knows why Riley was banned either. In his video, Enders claimed that Riley was banned due to mass reporting.
Riley got the Twitch channel that they stream on mass reported and falsely banned. When I emphasize falsely banned.
However, when I asked Enders what his evidence for this was, he said he didn't have any and it was just an assumption. It should go without saying that you shouldn't make claims like this so confidently without proper proof, even if your logic seems to be
You could
sound.
say, "I believe
and just for
that's why they got-"
transparency, Enders did give me permission to show his DMs. Now, it could be possible that Riley was banned due to mass reporting. And personally, I would be inclined to assume that was the case. But we really don't know. What we do know is that Twitch only has access to the same information everyone else does. Twitch is only provided the visuals of Riley's gameplay. Riley doesn't play the game through Twitch like she does through her EA account. Twitch doesn't have secret knowledge about the software Riley is using, and if Twitch bans or doesn't ban someone, that isn't proof of anything. What we do know is that after Riley appealed, it was viewed by someone at Twitch who rejected it. But the appeal and the denial all happened within 24 hours of the ban. I'm not going to put any stock on a random Twitch employee who clearly hasn't done a thorough investigation. The stream in question was over 6 hours long. And remember, it was the hand cam stream done later on, not the stream from the montage that got all of the attention. So the montage had nothing to do with it. I struggle to believe anyone did an investigation of a 6-hour stream all within that 24-hour period. The notion is ridiculous. And it's hilarious for Call of Shame to assert that Twitch is some kind of authority on cheating. So just to recap on what we've covered so far, Call of Shame lied about Riley being banned by EA, he lied about Riley using multiple accounts, he lied about Riley's appeal being denied last year, and his use of AI is so egregious and lazy that it literally creates entirely new documents with obvious spelling mistakes that he fails to notice. These
Now, just to let Teddy know, the argument that this Call of Shame guy made, well, you saw the video, right?
Yeah.
Where, boots up in Steam instead of through the EA app, right? So the screen names change. And he's like, oh, see, look, Catgirl made a new account. Like, meanwhile, it's just their Steam name instead of their EA name, right? So,
Yeah.
well, I'll say that for the audience at the very least. All right, here we go.
These are the big lies that make him completely unreliable, but as we will soon see, he basically lies about everything. Here, Call of Shame shows the Steam group from Team EXE and says they all have game bans attached to their account.
They have a whole bunch of cheaters actively in this so-called org, if you can call it that.
I hate the
come
voice,
on.
the
They all
AI
have
voice. I
game
fucking
bans
hate
assigned
it.
to their accounts. It's just laughable at this point. The same org that Enders and Riley are in are all cheating. I'm not making this up, people. You can check it yourself. It's insane.
Call of Shame says to check it out yourself, so I did. The group has a total of 93 members. You would think, given what Call of Shame said, that most of these accounts would have bans, if not all of them, as he literally said. But of those 93 members, only 5 of them have bans associated with their Steam accounts. 3 of them are for bans that were 6, 7, and 10 years ago, respectively.
Probably Modern Warfare 2.
And the other 2 are 1 year and 2 years ago. So 5 out of 93 members have a ban of some kind, with 3 of those being over 6 years ago. And Call of Shame says all of the players have bans.
They have a whole bunch of cheaters actively in this so-called org, if you can call it that. I mean, come on. They all have game bans assigned to their accounts. It's just laughable at this point.
Again, this isn't a defense of
They wanna punch this
TMC.
fucking
It's
guy.
only to show that Call of
No.
Shame says things that are false and uses extreme hyperbole
God.
to make points. And really, saying he uses extreme hyperbole is basically me being nice. It's essentially just lying. Call of Shame's use of logic is astoundingly poor, which is evidenced by the way he talks about Shimmy. Shimmy was the Team EXE member that was kicked off the team for using an aimbot in
It's the
Battlefield and
waist
Call of Duty. And then it was uncovered that he was also cheating in Kovacs as well. I made a whole
That was
video
crazy.
about this a few months ago,
That right there was
but
insane.
listen to how Call of Shame describes this situation.
Team EXE, or XE, whatever you want to call them, I don't really care. They had to make a public statement and admit he was using
You
soft.
have to imagine that there's an AI voice. Too. It's not some
Yeah,
guy
dude.
talking casually, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna get weird too. Teddy, it's gonna get fucking weird. It's gonna get really
I'm
weird.
ready, bro. I'm
Here we go.
ready.
Here we go.
Describes this situation.
This guy
Team
unleashed
EXE,
all of
or
himself.
XE, whatever you want to call them, I don't really care. They had to make a public statement and admit he was using soft aim. And because the situation was so public, they really had no other option.
Forgive my French, but this is truly fucking stupid. He says that Team EXE removed Shimmy because the situation was so public that they had no choice.
And because the situation was so public, they really had no other option.
That is an amazing claim. When Shimmy was banned, no one outside of a tiny community knew who he was. Shimmy's montages, the ones he cheated in, have a grand total of 6,000 views. And that's months after I and other people heavily covered this story. Shimmy was an absolute nobody when he was kicked. Riley's montage that blew up, which is apparently obvious cheating as well, has almost 100 million impressions. So according to Call of Shame, Shimmy's cheating, with his montages that had just a few hundred views at the time, was so public that Team EXE had no choice but to kick him, but Riley's 100 million view montage that caused major public outcry was not. This makes no sense to anyone with an IQ higher than a loaf of bread. What really needs to be made clear is that it was the AIM community itself that exposed Shimmy, not people from outside it. It is insanely disingenuous to say that the AIM community was fooled when it was the AIM community itself that exposed Shimmy and kicked him out within a month of him using an aimbot. I suppose this really was a no-win situation. Team EXE uncovering and kicking a cheater is used as proof that the team has cheaters in it and that they protect them. It's not used as evidence that they can identify and kick cheaters. The very thing that they did is used as evidence for the complete
just a weird
opposite.
micro.
The AI slot truly shines in this segment talking about Shimmy.
Snap to the waist.
This is Shimmy's own
Yeah.
gameplay recorded on Aim Trainer. Looks pretty solid, right? Well, now we know he was actually using an aimbot. So anyone claiming that great aim from Aim Trainer alone proves legitimacy can throw that argument out the window. I've just proven it false.
Notice the weird grammar, and it doesn't even know what Kovacs is called. It just calls it Aim Trainer. Personally, I never said that being good at aiming means you aren't cheating. I've seen other people say that, but anyone who has watched my channel would know I would never make that claim myself. World-class plays
Sure, the
cheat
Shimmy guy's
all
good at
the
aiming.
time. Being very
but just
skilled
wanted
at a
to-
game doesn't make you immune to cheating.
Extra.
In my video, I talked about the aim community and said they have better aim than professional esports players. This was not to defend Riley and say that she isn't cheating.
Better
It
aim
was
and aim
simply to
trainers.
dispel this misconception that esports pros have the best aim, which is demonstrably false. This misconception was being used as evidence for cheating.
But I don't. When you have people that are perceptually very, very good players, but they're not entering competitions and they're not winning competitions, I generally assume that they're probably cheaters.
So while other people may have used
That guy's played games his whole fucking life, bro. I don't understand how my logic like sees that better than he does.
He doesn't understand this level.
I don't understand this level, bro. Like I see those aim trainer fucking aimer guys. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that looks crazy. Right? I'm like, how the fuck are you doing this shit?
Listen, Asmund, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Asmund he doesn't play FPS games. Like
He's content hunting, most likely, right? He's like, oh,
pretty
look,
much.
it has 100 million views. All right, let me cover this story about this blatant cheater that no one's calling out. There's some shit like that.
Pretty much.
God dang it, man. Like, I understand, like, he's an idiot in politics, right? Good. You're an idiot in politics, fine.
He's an idiot here, too.
But it's like you're supposed to be awesome in your gaming stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's your real, like, that's where you came from as far as, like, me knowing about you. So, like,
Maybe World of Warcraft, sure. I don't know if I can watch that gay ass shit. That's his specialty.
yeah, I seen him play one game. I'm sure he played more, but I saw him play one game when Warzone like first came out, and yeah, I wasn't like crazily impressed or anything. But he doesn't actually like when I watch him stream. He doesn't play FPS. He doesn't actually.
No, he doesn't.
He plays fucking Skyrim and Fallout games and fucking Elden Ring and World of Warcraft and Dark Souls and all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know why he's opening his mouth here. It makes zero sense.
Bro, the content. Come on, the content.
True. But at the same time, it's like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You're putting shit out. But yeah, content. Yeah.
He has a trans streamer that's accused of cheating, but people are protecting this trans streamer because they're part of the woke agenda. If I had to guess of like what his maybe what he says about this, I can't say I know. I'm just saying like if I had to guess like the attraction to it and how it works perfectly for some of his political content, I mean it makes sense to me.
Okay.
But I can't say I know. Here we go.
I generally assume that they're probably cheaters.
So while other people may have used this poor argument that because someone used an aim trainer they wouldn't cheat, I never would. I would only seek to combat misinformation and make sure that if people are going to claim someone is cheating, it should be for the right reasons. Call of Shame also puts Riley's and Shimmy's gameplay side by side and claims they are identical, which is provably false.
The gameplay is identical. The same snap behavior is there, but let's be clear, the snap itself is not the cheat. The soft aimbot is the mechanical auto-correction that takes over as the crosshair nears the target. The so-called pro players and Riley defenders from that strange little list they created just don't recognize what soft aim really looks like. So they gaslight the clips by overanalyzing and debunking the snaps.
Yeah.
But the snaps were never the issue. What matters is the underlying soft aim correction, and here, the gameplay is a dead match. It's exactly the same. This is a closed case. There's nothing more to be said.
This motherfucker, man. It's a dead match.
Listen, I'm relatively new. I'm not new, but I'm relatively new to FPSs and all that shit. And if I'm hitting chest shots, bro, there's no way I micro adjust towards their fucking waistline. So even though I still like from the outside, you can't just directly tell if someone's like just cheating, but just by looking at them like this, I'd still be like, well, why is he letting his aim, like, is he over fucking controlling recoil and just pulling it right down to the waist? But then again, it's like 4 or 5 different people at the same time, right? Or like each one of them is going to the waist, to the waist, to the waist, to the waist, to the waist. Like, I feel like there'd be more parity in the shots.
No, 100%.
And especially if you're some like aim train guy, you'd be able to control recoil and maybe stay somewhere near like the chest and head area because that's where you're landing shots there. So why drop it down to the fucking waistline? That would make no sense.
Yeah.
You're losing damage by doing that. All right, here we go. It's just once again, Teddy, by the way, is a lot better at these, and he's on mouse and key, so he can. These guys are mouse and key too, and they're flicking and all that shit. So he probably has a better eyesight for it.
That's way easier on MK. Yeah.
I can't even flick on fucking. I don't even bother, bro.
Yeah.
But,
controller's hard. Yeah.
But either way, it's like even more of my novice area. Like I can still see how if someone called them cheating for hitting waist shots all the time, like almost like the same spot, like shooting them in the dick over and over again. I can see why that makes sense. Is like okay, especially from other people that are in that community. Like this guy on screen right here, I think he's one of the either moderators or a part of that group, the EXE group that where these guys are like basically clip farmers, right? They're clip farming and doing fucking snaps and all that shit and aim train or whatever the fuck, right? So these guys can definitely fucking tell, I would guess, of like, okay, why the fuck is your aim doing this? They'd be able to make sense of it.
Yeah.
Either way, here we go.
Banned precisely because his aimbot locked onto the same part of the enemy every single time. But if you actually spent any effort looking at Riley's clips, this is not the case at all. Call of Shame's inability to use logic manifests in funny ways, with the channel arguing with itself video to video. Originally, the channel claimed that Riley's snap to the rock was all that it needed to see to know that she was cheating.
So yeah, I think we can pretty much all agree that he is absolutely cheating. I mean, there's no doubt. Let's just call it what it is. The moment he moved towards the guy behind the rock was pretty much enough for me to stop watching this clown. He's done.
And it claimed that Riley's snapping to enemies was an obvious aimbot.
Check this out. This is a snap, no debate. I can't say for sure yet if this is an aimbot or some other third-party software until I finish my data models and start examining this with TrueSight.
Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. Let's see find out what TrueSight is. Wait for it.
But then for some reason it changed its tune and said that the snapping wasn't evidence for cheating at all.
The aimbot didn't get a lock. Let me explain why this happened. The aimbot only works if the enemy is inside its field of view.
Vocal confidence.
Now, because the enemy was outside the FOV, it didn't lock on, even though he is firing his weapon. The snapping isn't the cheat. The aimbot only takes over once the weapon fires.
It originally claimed that this clip was not cheating and was inserted into the montage to fool people.
When you slow it down, you can see that this person is actually snapping past the targets and correcting their own bad aim. They're snapping to nothing. And no, that's not cheating. Cheaters often include clips like this in their montages so that absolute morons can try to break it down and say, see, he's not cheating.
Then later it claimed that it was cheating.
Now that you've seen what soft aim looks like, let's compare Riley CS side by side with Shimmy. But I'm going to use the actual gameplay that got him banned. The gameplay is identical. The same snap behavior is there, but let's be clear, the snap itself is not the cheat. The soft aimbot is the mechanical auto correction that takes over as the crosshair nears the target. Look, it's clear this is cheating. I've not only proven it, I've provided the receipts. The defenders are losing, and they know it.
Remember, Call of Shame doesn't do any research or any investigations. The AI makes a video every single day. Of course, it must be prompted by a human, but that human isn't doing any real work. And whoever is prompting the AI clearly doesn't care about logical consistency or accuracy. Call of Shame can't even go 30 seconds without saying something stupidly conflicting. Listen to this amazing segment.
I'm also hearing now that he was banned in Titanfall some years ago for using aimbot. Look, multiple channels have presented concrete proof that he is. So the question is, are you going to side with hearsay or the facts staring you right in the face?
The money's worth it, bro.
I'm also hearing now that he was banned in Titanfall some years ago for using aimbot.
I mean, even then, it's like,
or
you gotta be on some level
right in the face.
You gotta be a real piece of fucking shit.
You know what's really funny? Back when I made my original Riley video, I said this. the channel Call of Shame, who seems to be very knowledgeable on aimbots, and to be honest, a lot more
Caught
knowledgeable
cheating.
than most people I see talking on this matter, claims that the snap to the
I'm sorry. So I've watched a lot of Timmy and some Nick Mercs, but I've seen a lot of Timmy. It doesn't help him. Like, in fact, if he fucks up and gets killed, or like fall damage, or misses his shots, it actually helps his content more. So it's like I don't know. I'm just saying, like, just logically.
Yeah.
And just like watching him play, like he's played FPSs for a long time, so he has obviously like a skill thing. Like he's better than the average person by a lot. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right. But like, even just looking at him play, like Timmy cheating, I don't fucking see an ounce of that anywhere. Or Nick Mercs either. So it's like Tim the Tatman caught cheating in Battlefield. So like, why?
Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I assume it is about cheating. Like, I don't know the context of the vids. But I assume it's about.
What's really funny,
But at the same time,
when I made my original
Yeah.
video, I and to
Yeah, I've seen the title.
Caught cheating in Battlefield 6. Like,
I've seen the title though, and I assume I assume it is because this is what his channel's about, right? So I guess
yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way. I agree. Like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, I've seen enough of this guy's channel to where, once again, yeah. To be fair, you got to leave room for like, okay, what's he actually saying in the video? But because there are instances, not with Timmy cheating, but with maybe someone around him, somebody he plays against, where I remember this video where Timmy like got just shit on by someone. Like, yo, is that guy fucking cheating?
Yeah.
Right. Then he found out it was like some pro player. Like, oh no, yeah, this guy's good. He's not cheating. Like, that's not good enough. That's not a good enough reasoning.
It isn't. No. Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, I do have this idea in my head that this guy, this Call of Shame guy, is just so full of shit and just pumping it out to the fucking lemmings. And there's like, yeah, like they feel better when they die when they die in Call of Duty or some shit. They feel better watching like, yeah, they're all cheating. Type of shit.
This title because like I mean, what could also be counted as cheating is you queuing up with the cheater.
Okay.
And being in ranked or something. So I don't know if it's about that or.
But who's?
Because I find it hard to believe he was straight up just called these two fucking giants out like that.
Okay, that's where I'm gonna say you're wrong. I've seen that. I've seen that from this guy talking about Tim the fucking Tatman, about him like straight up cheating.
I mean, they have a bunch of It's not like they have like no content. They have a lot of content where people are like, okay, man, clearly you're full of shit. If he is talking about like wall hacks or aimbot, soft aim, whatever in his vid, but it could be him or them queuing with cheaters or something. I don't know.
I think it's partially like halfway like clickbait of like Tim the Tatman cheating, caught him, right?
Yeah.
The other half is like kind of murky gameplay. I swear I've heard this guy talk about Tim the Tatman like directly, like, oh, he's using aimbot right here, or he has walls or something like that in other scenarios. I swear I've seen that before. My memory's not failing me right now. I swear I've seen that. But either way, this guy's like, he'll say any like video for the day. I'll say it anyways. Fuck it.
God. Fucking retarded, dude. What the?
And I think there's a reason for it. And I think this Karl guy actually like this Call of Shame guy, you fucked up, bro. You should have left this alone, because now this Karl guy is gonna dig into all your shit and he's gonna show everyone about it. And like, it's gonna fuck over your whole operation you got going there. But all right, let's keep going. Here we go.
Be honest, a lot more knowledgeable than most people I see talking on this matter, claims that the snap to the rock is not cheating at all. And many people took this seriously. And I must admit, this is my deadpan Australian sarcasm failing to land once again. This was a joke. Call of Shame isn't a real person, it's mostly AI. And he is not knowledgeable on anything. But Karl, you might say, he has a white paper. He has a PhD thesis. I mean, this sounds really impressive. Just look at how Asmongold reacts to this incredible proof of expertise.
I've written an entire PhD level white paper on computer vision based cheats and the...
Oh. No.
Yeah, so did I. I'll write it up right now and post it online.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go, guys.
Urgent need for anti-cheats to step up against AI-driven exploits.
Wow.
In it, I go in depth on soft aim technology and the broader dangers that modern AI...
Wait. You see like that part?
Here we go, guys.
Urgent need for anti-cheats to step up against AI-driven exploits.
Natural reaction.
Wow.
In it, I go in depth...
See that? Like that shit right there. Like, oh, fuck. What the fuck does that mean? Must be a fucking genius. Got it.
Holy shit.
On soft aim technology and the broader dangers that modern AI...
Bro, this guy's actually... like.
He's about to say brilliant.
So you've got a PhD versus... versus some retard? Oh, no.
Except when you actually read the
Wait,
paper,
what?
it's just
What does he mean?
more
I'm
AI
confused.
trash.
What does he mean by that?
Then, because he's listening to the Call of Shame guy's video. He's like, oh, you got an actual PhD versus some retard, which I assume means either the Karl guy or the Catgirl lady. Yeah.
So Asmon is... He's going with this. Like, he truly believes that this is his white paper or whatever the fuck.
Listen. I'm going to run it back. I'm going to run back. I'm going to let it happen again.
Yeah.
And we'll see. We'll see in full context. Here we go.
Just look at how Asmongold reacts to this incredible proof of expertise.
I've written an entire PhD level white paper on computer vision based cheats and the...
Oh. No.
Look at his shot. Well, damn.
Oh,
PhD.
no.
Cooked. This guy's a wizard.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go, guys.
Urgent need for anti-cheats to step up against AI-driven exploits.
Wow.
In it, I go in depth on soft aim technology and the broader dangers that modern AI...
Bro, this guy's actually... like... So you got a PhD versus... versus some retard? Oh, no.
Except when you actually read the paper, it's just more AI trash. Let's forget about the fact that when you put the paper into an AI text detector, it says almost the entire thing is AI generated. The content itself is just self-serving garbage that is just a marketing ploy for this alleged True Guardian site, Anti-Cheat. Software that you can't download or test for yourself. But just trust me, bro, it's a real thing that really works. This PhD thesis has amazing references, like a Reddit post and YouTube videos. And wow, it even references the exact same website twice. Which means that this source must be especially important. So what exactly is anybrain.gg? Oh, it's a sales page for another AI anti-cheat software. The exact same type of software that Call of Shame has proclaimed to have developed. Well, if this doesn't scream legit to you, honestly, nothing will. This is as airtight and trustworthy as you can possibly get. It even shows a graph that proves it outperforms all of the other anti-cheat software with no paper or study to substantiate this claim whatsoever. Nor do the references the paper provides point to the data shown in the graph. And the title of the graph is misspelled. In fact, none of the claims in this paper are sourced at all. There is zero sourcing or any citations in this entire paper. Just a bunch of assertions with a list of random references at the end. But given that none of the claims are cited, it's impossible to tell where they came from. But surely it has to be legit. I mean, when he talks about his white paper in his videos, listen to the music.
In fact, I've written a full white paper on computer vision cheats, the dangers they pose, and how anti-cheat systems can effectively stop them. It's available on my website, and I've also submitted it as part of my PhD research for peer review.
With music like that, how could you doubt anything this channel says? And to look at these diagrams, you can see that human aim is wavy and cheats is a straight line. If that isn't proof of something, then I don't know what is.
Over the past 6 months, I've been investigating, researching, and reverse engineering external cheat devices to determine the most effective ways to combat them in first-person shooters.
Yeah.
The result is a groundbreaking anti-cheat.
Look at all the sources and everything. Oh my god.
Oh my god, the sources, they are incredible. Maybe if I'm lucky, my YouTube video can appear as a source in a PhD thesis as well. According to a consensus of multiple advanced AIs, this white paper is around 70 to 90% AI generated. And there are quite a few things in here that are obviously just completely fabricated. For example, it shows a table of estimated minimum monthly revenue for various websites. There is no citation or sources listed, of course, but even checking through the references given at the bottom of the document, none of them give any information about the revenue of any of these sites. And the telltale sign of AI making this table up is the fact that it gives values to the cent. Apparently, the estimated monthly revenue of Battlelog is $99,152.79. Humans don't do this. Estimates are usually in a range or rounded to the nearest thousand, not given in exact cents. And according to AI, the pseudocode in this paper is tutorial level and inconsistent with the sophistication claimed. The issue of this white paper being AI generated has already been brought up before in a video by Boren.
My guess is he fed a lot of this to the AI to help him spit out this paper. And while unreliable, I ran large sections of this text through AI text detectors online, and basically all of them said that large portions of the text are 100% AI generated.
And Call of Shame has even responded to this very point.
So this guy thinks AI wrote my white paper, created all my images, and guessed at the algorithms I use in my script, right? That's what he's claiming, that my paper is AI generated. Well, I just turned to scripture, because the Lord has used it to stop evil, and it was written over 2,000 years ago.
What?
I randomly chose the book of Leviticus to see if that was AI generated, and all it took was a single book of the Bible to shut this clown down. Amen. Moving on.
Apparently, if you put the Book of Leviticus into an AI detector, it says it's AI generated, which I have to say is pretty incredible. Naturally, me being the stickler I am for double checking things myself, I try to replicate this, and I put the Book of Leviticus into an AI detector, and my results came back at 0%. So I'm really confused as to what happened. Actually, come to think about it, Call of Shame showed the text on his screen so briefly, I didn't really even get a chance to see what he put in there. Oh, this isn't the Book of Leviticus at all. It's a summary. Call of Shame posted an AI summary of the Book of Leviticus into an AI text detector and said that it was the actual Book of Leviticus.
Genius.
Now I am really intrigued. Does Call of Shame not know what the Book of Leviticus is? Or did he intentionally paste an AI summary into the detector and to lie about what it was? Even though we can just pause the video and read it for ourselves. There is a very good case to be made that Call of Shame.
Listen, there's cases of things where it's like, okay, someone has a hunch about something, they follow through with it, they make a video about it, and they say it, right? But then there's like, oh, there's a very good reason for like what happened on screen, right? Maybe there's like 10 seconds before, there's someone on the mini map or some shit like that, or whatever. There's like a pretty good argument for why their clip is legit. And this guy doesn't go back over it. That's when I'm like, fuck this guy, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and it just seems like it's just content farming. And I watched him pass all these other guys, not calling them as like the greatest hacker hunter people on the planet Earth, but they showed me some interesting clips here and there. But they didn't come off as like full blown dishonest. When they fucked something up, they're like, all right, I need to make a follow up video. I fucked up on this. This makes sense now. Those guys did that. This guy would not do that at all. He just move on to the next day and move on to someone else. All right, now fucking Scump's cheating. Here's a clip of this, or whatever. Right? They just move on to the next person. And it's just like that is so dishonest that I can't watch your shit anymore. Circle around to 2025, and here's this motherfucker right here, and he poked the wrong bear. Pause. He poked around in the wrong places, and he's about to get fucked. I think.
Good.
Because this guy has a much larger following, and now he's putting you on blast, straight up.
Yeah.
And we're nowhere. I'm telling you, we're like a quarter into the rabbit hole. There's more here, a lot more here. But
Damn it.
let's continue.
Yeah, let's see.
A summary into the detector
Jesus
and to lie
Christ, dude.
about what it was, even though we can just pause the video and read it for ourselves. There is a very good case to be made that Call of Shame isn't even a native English speaker. On his now deleted Twitter account, it's quite obvious that his grammar is not from someone born in the West. And his old website callofshame.net is even worse. Look at some of these sentences from the terms of service. The donations is a generous effort on your part to give freely to a cause, thus being Call of Shame. We will place your name on our website, and your comment should this be approved by our team, but in no way part of the donation agreement. And this work of art of a paragraph somehow managed to find its way onto Call of Shame's anti-cheat website. Guardian will soon be providing complete protection for tournament organisers, helping them to make an informed description whether or not to issue the payout.
God.
It's pretty obvious Call of Shame is not an English speaker, which is
That's
almost
a leap,
certainly
but
why he doesn't
might
use
just
his
be
own
bad at
voice
English,
in
that's okay.
videos. If you go and check pinned comments on Call of Shame's oldest
God, the
videos,
thumbnails.
the
Ugh.
English is atrocious. As we are fair, we always give the player a chance have their say. We welcome a responsive video. Should we find the claims credible, we will make a note here. The response video will be shared regardless to give a complete fair balance. Wait a minute. Here, Call of Shame claims he is always fair and gives players a chance to have their say, but he has been giving me shit for talking to Riley. What a hypocrite. And with all of this knowledge in mind, there really is a non-zero chance that Call of Shame didn't know that this wasn't the actual book of Leviticus. And I love the fact that the author of Call of Shame's paper is just Guardian Labs. It's not even a person, and no one is credited or listed anywhere. But again, just have the faith that this is a real person, guys. Don't let the AI voice, the AI generated text, and AI generated labels, graphs, and diagrams fool you. Seriously, the fact that someone as big as Asmongold can watch AI generated videos and believe them immediately without question is insane.
Listen,
and I'm
man,
going to preemptively
I
say
find it hard
that
to
I'm not
believe that
pers-
he actually believes this shit, man. Like, I feel like he was being sarcastic.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Teddy. I watched some of his political content like earlier on in the year, right? And I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking trolling me. He's trolling me. I stopped like reacting to it. I stopped kind of watching it in a way. Not well, I mean, I'll watch anything, but I'm just saying like I was like, okay, there's more pertinent stories or whatever they go over than Asmongold's, reaction to some sort of political story. But I'm like, all right, this guy's fucking trolling us. All right, I'm done with this fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
But like then there's like serious stories, right? Where someone dies or something harmful happens, something big happens, and he's doing the same thing there. I'm not saying I'm sitting watching Asmongold every day. It's just like there's making content because that's your career, right? You make your money that way, fine. But then there's like real life shit happening and you're still doing the same thing. It's not me saying I think he believes what he's saying. It's more so like, what levels are we willing to go to make a video or make content? So he could be trolling here, but like at like with other stories, like at what length are you willing to go to, man? Like what are we doing here? Is it strictly to make a video? Like people will show up for you playing fucking, the new GTA game or some shit like that. Like people will show up for that. You'll make all the money you want. But why are you doing like this other shit over here? What's the point?
Yeah.
It's like very weird. But
I don't know.
His physical and like his vocal reactions sound like trolling to me. His fucking eyebrows and shit and like fuck.
It does. Fuck. I don't really know, man.
I don't know either.
I don't really watch him like that. You've seen more shit from him than me for sure, so you have a better idea.
Well, yes,
So
someone recommended me his stuff for political stuff. I've seen him before with gaming. I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking awesome. Like it's fun watching him die to millennia 8,000 times, right? It's fun. It's a fun watch. But when it comes to like, people are dying, man, like being blown up and that, like when it comes to situations like that, where it's like, hey, man, put a little bit of seriousness behind it.
Yeah.
His vocal and bodily reactions look the same, except when he apologized that one time for saying, whatever, Palestinians are, what did he say? Like they're lesser of a culture than we are, or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, some shit. Yeah,
he sounded serious, like he did like an apology video, right? He combed his hair and everything. He put on a nice shirt. Picked up the Taco Bell wrappers. He's like, he's being real for a moment, I guess. But all right, that's fair enough. He could be trolling. It's just where are we going here, Asmon? But all right, here we go.
Attacking Asmongold. And previously I would have never felt the need to say this. I'm only saying this now because Tectone was such a giant bitch that he took my disagreement over The Rock as a personal insult. And on Reddit, people were claiming that I was trying to make Asmongold...
This bald dude in the corner right here.
Oh yeah, I've seen him the other day. I didn't know about him before, but yeah.
He's another rat fuck.
Yeah,
hey, man, he's saying that. Get him banned. Like, you little fuck face, bro. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Little weirdos. But yeah, there we go.
Rock as a personal insult. And on Reddit, people were claiming that I was trying to make Asmongold look stupid. I am not trying to say that Asmongold or Tectone are bad or stupid because they believe this
They
AI
only
slop.
look stupid.
But the fact that they did is pretty alarming. I don't have a personal agenda against these people, but they happen to be the biggest people spreading misinformation on this subject. So I have to mention them, I have to show their clips, and I have to explain why they are wrong. Don't take it personally. I find it unbelievable that we can't have a disagreement on whether or not someone is cheating without someone like Tectone equating that to me calling him a bad person. That is ridiculous. In the past, Asmongold has been very receptive and appreciative when I've changed his mind on something.
Let me link you guys the video. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Karl did the research that, I'll be real, I should have done. I should have known what he knew. I should have looked into it more. I didn't. He did. Give his video a like. He was right. Yeah, people are right. Yeah, I did not know. And like, he knows way more about this than I do.
If anything, this is more a demonstration of the pitfalls of reaction content. Treating everything you watch as truth without any skepticism can be incredibly dangerous. And again, we're talking about something as meaningless as someone cheating in a video game. But the reason I find this so concerning is because I know this isn't just isolated to this one topic. This complete lack of skepticism appears everywhere. Now, legends, on a completely unrelated note, I have just published a PhD-level, peer-reviewed white paper on my own AI-driven visual detection anti-cheat software called True Carlsite. True Carlsite is a biomechanically anchored visual AI platform that verifies whether on-screen behavior is within human neuromuscular limits. By modeling reaction latency, angular velocity, fatigue effects, and micro-correction variants, True Carlsite identifies external HDMI plus AI cheats, spoofed HID inputs, and subtle assistive aimbots that evade process-based systems. Now, you might think that True Carlsite and True Guardian Sight are similar, but there are subtle differences. As we can see here, True Guardian Sight is a hybrid telemetry partial visual AI that boasts 92.3% accuracy, 2.5% false positives, and 85 millisecond latency, while True Carlsite is a biomechanically anchored visual AI that has demonstrated an incredible 98.9% accuracy, 0.9% false positive rate, and an astonishingly low 78 millisecond latency. And you can see in this graph that True Carlsite has a taller bar than True Guardian Sight, which makes it superior. True Carlsite has already been field tested with impeccable results. After being implemented at the 2024 Global FPS Championship, a referee described True Carlsite as the first system where I could look at the data and feel certain it wasn't just telling me a process looked suspicious. It was showing me this flick is impossible for a human hand to make 50 times in a row. That's what makes it so powerful. The release of True Calcite represents more than a technological advance. It marks a decisive turning point in the history of competitive integrity within digital ecosystems. For nearly 3 decades, anti-cheat enforcement has been locked into an exhaustive cycle of escalation. Publishers deploy deeper process scans, cheat developers respond with more obfuscation, and players are left as collateral damage, either subject to unfair losses or caught in false positives that erode trust. What distinguishes True Calcite is not just accuracy, but philosophy. A deliberate shift away from invasive kernel monitoring and toward outcome-based biomechanical plausibility analysis. By anchoring detection in the fundamental limits of human neuromuscular performance, True Calcite delivers verdicts that are transparent, defensible, and beyond the reach of even the most sophisticated hardware-assisted cheats. True Calcite guarantees that skill belongs to humans and fairness belongs to all. It is not just an incremental patch, but the foundation of a new era in which publishers, players, and regulators align around a shared principle. Digital competition must be as authentic as its physical counterpart. The arms race is over. Not just because cheats have disappeared, but because their outputs can no longer masquerade as human. With True Calcite, integrity is no longer an aspiration. It is an enforceable standard. As I mentioned before, my white paper is even peer-reviewed. I recently showed a peer of mine, and they said, "What the fuck is this?" Look, when it comes to cheating, there is no higher authority. I've been a multiple-time world champion. I've set hundreds of world records. And I haven't just been researching and covering cheaters for years, I've been setting the standard in cheat detection. Nothing could be clearer. True Calcite is the future, and you can download my full PhD level peer-reviewed white paper at truecalcite.karljobst.gg.
The fucking music, dude.
By the way, I just want to say that Call of Shame has had an incredible career. Let's go through all of his achievements.
No.
First, he has been a world-class professional Call of Duty player who was on the best team in the entire world.
Let me be clear. I've won countless ladders in old-school Call of Duty competing on game battles, earning thousands of dollars competing back on the Xbox 360. I played for the best team in the world.
They're always the best players.
I've been there. I've done it. And I know exactly what cheating looks like.
And he proves this by showing a Game Battles profile page with a few trophies.
There ain't no school like the old school, and I am the headmaster.
Honestly, and I genuinely mean this, this is incredible. Although I do find it a bit worrying that Call of Shame admits that he can't count to 5.
Let me be clear. I've won countless ladders in old-school Call of Duty competing on game battles.
Though, to be fair, 5 trophies is a very large number. I can't imagine anyone else competing with that kind of success. Well, except for basically any decent player who played on game battles, like Jay Cement, who has literally hundreds, or the OG Stoner, who has over 600. Or what about Reflex Zach, who had 1,000 first-place trophies, not to mention the second and third-place trophies, of which Call of Shame had 0. And what about Huskers, who had not only 127 gold trophies on game battles, but also had a very successful professional esports career with total winnings of almost $1 million.
He's probably the best MK guy.
I mean, if Call of Shame's opinion is so valuable because of his 5 trophies, shouldn't Huskers' opinion mean something? And on Twitter, Husker said that Riley's play was just basic aim flicking and nothing special.
I feel bad for him getting,
well, according to Call of Shame, Huskers has no idea what he is talking about.
They list Huskers, for example, the same person I exposed just last week for cheating in Battlefield. This is someone with a history of cheating allegations, corruption claims, and being caught exploiting in multiple games. That is not a credible source. On top of that, they can't even get their facts straight. He left Luminosity last year, and he has never won the World Series of Warzone. That claim is a flat-out lie. He's never won a single professional tournament on LAN. Calling himself a World Series of Warzone champion is laughable. The titles he's talking about were North America-only online events, played from the comfort of his bedroom.
So let me get this straight. Call of Shame was the best player in the world, playing on the best team in the world, because he had 5 gold trophies on GameBattles.com. and that's why you should believe what he says. But Huskers, with his 127 gold trophies and $1 million of prize money over a lengthy professional career, isn't a credible source.
I played for the best team in the world. I've been there, I've done it, and I know exactly what cheating looks like.
That definitely makes perfect sense. Though I suppose an even more pressing question is if Call of Shame's Game Battles profile is even his. He never actually shows the name of the account. It could literally belong to anybody. Showing a random account and claiming it's yours is not proof of anything. And anyone who does think this is proof of anything is gullible beyond repair. But even the screenshots he does show aren't even real screenshots and have been heavily manipulated. For example, here's the page of Ricker, and this will apply to every single page, by the way, but this is just one example. Notice how on the top right it shows his number of gold, silver, and bronze trophies, among other details. When Call of Shame shows his profile page, in this case it was from a video in 2023, these numbers are completely absent. The trophy icons are there, but the numbers are invisible. Isn't that odd? Even pages with 0 trophies still show zeros there. This is fascinating, and for some strange reason the profile picture is of the 2019 Call of Duty World League presented by PS4, even though Call of Shame was an Xbox 360 player.
Earning thousands of dollars competing back on the Xbox 360.
Things get even more bizarre though, because in a video from December 2022, Call of Shame also shows his trophy page, and while it is very brief, it does show numbers next to the trophies on the top right. But this time he has edited his profile picture. But if he had this version in 2022, why on earth is the version he showed in 2023 showing a different profile picture with the trophy numbers now completely missing? This is honestly blowing my mind. And by the way, this might be nothing, but notice how he's not signed into his account. This is what your profile page looks like when you're signed in. Game Battles closed down in 2024, so it's pretty interesting that Call of Shame screenshotted his own account as an anonymous viewer without actually signing in. But even that makes no sense, because he also shows apparent Game Battles emails he received, so he must have been signed in to show those. Nothing going on here follows any logic whatsoever. It's almost as if these screenshots reek of AI, similar to how AI completely destroyed the totally real email that Twitch sent to Riley. But there is also a bit more to this page that you wouldn't pick up on unless you digged a little deeper. In this original screenshot from 2023, notice the order of the first place trophies. They are listed from most recent to oldest. And if you check every single profile page that you can find on the Wayback Machine, this is always the case. When it comes to first place, second place, third place trophies, they are always listed from most recent to oldest. And in Call of Shame's case, even though he had a habit of changing subtle details like editing the profile picture in this version and blurring the member date and leaving the profile views, which funnily enough was the opposite of the original version, at least the trophy order made sense. But look at the trophies in his recent video trying to prove that the page was really his.
As for being on the best team in the world, yes, I was. Nobody could touch us. We won everything during those seasons.
Now the order of the trophies has been reversed. It's now showing from oldest to newest. This is not legitimate. This isn't how trophies appeared on any profile. And it's impossible for this screenshot to be new either, as Game Battles shut down in January 2024. So just think about this for a second. Call of Shame already had numerous pictures of his account that he had been showing on his channel for years, but instead of showing them, he created a brand new one with an incorrect trophy order. At this point, I don't even care if this page is his or not. Not only are the achievements on this profile pathetic, with only 5 trophies total, compared to the hundreds and thousands of actual decent players, but this page has been manipulated multiple times. Once again, these aren't screenshots. These are AI-generated images. And even if they aren't generated by AI, they are generated nonetheless. These aren't real, no matter which way you want to spin it. And there is no reason to fabricate and manufacture evidence unless you're a liar. But anyway, let's move on. He also spent decades on the forefront of cybersecurity and anti-cheat technology, working for Symantec.
When it comes to cheating, I am a credible authority. I've spent decades on the front lines of cybersecurity and anti-cheat technology. I worked on Symantec's double firewall, where my mission was clear: identify threats and stop them. I pulled apart Trojans and worms like Subset, NetBus, and Back Orifice.
Thank God I
And he
never
worked
watched
on
that
the
shit.
MSN Gaming Zone.
I worked on the MSN Gaming Zone, where I monitored cheating across the
And he even built his own gaming platform, directly competing with GameSpy.
I even went as far as building my own gaming platform, yes, my own platform, directly competing with GameSpy and others at the time.
And he also worked with Microsoft.
Later, I collaborated with Microsoft to track down cheaters in Age of Empires, which, by the way, I still play to this day.
And he even built his own anti-cheat software.
I've even written my own anti-cheat. And no, I didn't need kernel-level access. I used AI-driven bots to infiltrate cheat sites, analyze loaders, extract cheat signatures, and break them down into raw data. And then, just to make things harder for cheat developers, I converted those signatures into what I called angelic script. It was an innovative approach, and it worked. I developed Ricochet Trust Score, software that leverages user mode anti-cheat techniques to validate a player's PC integrity before the game even boots, using Secure Boot and TPM long before they became industry standards.
And he published a peer-reviewed PhD-level paper.
Bro.
And even published a peer-reviewed PhD-level white paper on computer vision-based cheat detection.
The genius we need in
Wait
this
a minute.
world.
Published, peer-reviewed,
find
PhD. I don't think Call of Shame knows what those words mean. In any case, Call of Shame has amassed almost as many achievements as Tommy Tallarico. I'm sure his mother is very proud. And Call of Shame is extremely connected. He even works with the FBI.
I recently have been working with a very good friend of mine who works for the Bureau. I met her some time ago while visiting the art encounter in Kentucky. I wanted to provide a timeline of events to present the best arguments I can about the cheating in Call of Duty Warzone. I headed for coffee to meet and discuss the best approach, to build a case against some Warzone streamers, to then present it to the community to make the ultimate decision. We disagreed how the evidence should be presented. However, the FBI was correct, and after some fresh coffee, we put aside our differences, and I agreed she was absolutely on point.
Honestly, it might be faster for Call of Shame just to...
Was she sexually attracted? She did the hair thing. What was that? It's like, oh,
FBI was
he's
correct,
so tough and real.
after some fresh coffee, we put aside
Look
our
at her. She's like,
differences, and I agreed she was absolutely on point.
Honestly, it might be faster for Call of Shame just to tell us what he has not done. Call of Shame has done it all. He was the best gamer ever on the best team in the world. He worked with the biggest companies ever. He built his own gaming platform. He built the best anti-cheat software ever. He created the greatest PhD thesis ever. That was definitely not AI generated. He has decades of experience on the front lines of threat detection.
I was there during the IRC wars when groups clashed for dominance. I watched the birth of botnets, the rise of reverse connections, and the inevitable collapses that followed. I lived it.
Get rid of him, dude.
He has seen it all. But with all of this real-world experience, he won't tell you his name or let you hear his voice, and spends his time anonymously creating AI slot videos on YouTube. Yes, this definitely checks out. Recently, a few people have been looking into Call of Shame's channel, his anti-cheat software, and his white paper, with several videos being released from a few smaller creators who realized that Call of Shame is a total fraud. Struth Gaming did a recent video going over Call of Shame's white paper in detail, highlighting that it's a bunch of nonsensical, baseless claims with nothing to back them up whatsoever.
And get a load of this sentence. This white paper elucidates the theoretical foundations, architectural details, mathematical derivations, blah, blah, blah. And then we have him typing like this in YouTube comments. Thank you, no space. So much, mate. You're wrong, you're too kind. I appreciate random capital letter. It's so much. So kind of you, Jared. Yep, you're wrong, you're right though. Missing the UGH. Dead on. It's indisputable. But simps will simp with aught with -ort questioning anything. Like, how do you mess that one up so badly? There's no blame or autocorrect for that. Same guy, by the way. The layers upon layers of disingenuity and deception are simply remarkable. He had to type in the values to create this graph. There is no mistake. He repeatedly chose to misrepresent the data and even present data that doesn't exist to make his own anti-cheat look better. And once again, he refers to biomechanics, and this time biomechanics studies. Surely there's a reference for that one. Nope. None of these are a biomechanics study. But while we're here, let's look at this hilarious excuse for a reference list. New AI classifier for indicating AI written text. Why on earth is that referenced? What a massive self-report. An AI-generated paper on a computer vision AI anti-cheat referencing something about AI written text that was never mentioned anywhere in the paper. There is no way Call of Shame put that there himself, right? Like, it's so stupid.
And Harmful Opinions highlighted some really funny things in Call of Shame's past. Like that one time he pretended to have a girl on his channel named Supergirl by using an AI voice of a young boy.
Oh, this is by far to me the weirdest part.
Okay.
This is the definitely the weirdest part. Here we go.
Way Call of Shame put that there himself, right? Like, it's so stupid.
And Harmful Opinions highlighted some really funny things in Call of Shame's past. Like that one time he pretended to have a girl on his channel named Supergirl by using an AI voice of a young boy.
I am known as Supergirl, and my mission is simple: to remove the streamers so the other players can enjoy a cheat-free experience.
You fuck!
I don't target any streamer, only the ones featured on Call of Shame.
Call of Shame. Why, a couple years ago, were you pretending?
Lock in, Teddy.
That was the voice. That right there is what we heard. What we heard. That was actually on his voice, his channel. That voice that we just heard. That was the voice.
Yes. Yes,
What the fuck?
Now I didn't verify for myself, but I can believe it.
No, for real. But it's like, bro, this guy is on levels beyond fucking.
Wait till they show the voice. Wait for it. Here we go.
A cheat-free experience.
You fuck!
I don't target any streamer, only the ones featured on Call of Shame.
Call of Shame. Why, a couple years ago, were you pretending to be a woman and uploading clips suspiciously aiming through rocks, just like Riley CS?
Then I saw him, scuttling up the ladder, so I took my shot.
Then you saw him. Rare. Incredible work. You managed to perfectly track his elevation through the rock before he emerged. I guess you use aim trainers too. And that voice, it's very familiar. I played Crucible. There was a character in that game called Bug.
I protect my garden, and it protects me.
I use that TTS as one of my stream donor message readers, in memory of Bug from this dead game. So I know exactly which voice this is. And there's something kinda creepy going on here in my opinion. The voice he chose for Supergirl is called Justin. And this is what he would have seen when picking it. Justin. Male. Child. Having seen that information, he picked that one and fiddled with the sliders just a little bit.
Then I saw him, scuttling up the ladder, so I took my shot.
Sound familiar?
Then I saw him, scuttling up the ladder, so I took my shot.
I wanted to ask you this one-to-one, but I'll ask it here instead. Why were you pretending to be a woman using the AI voice of a little boy? Now, Call of Shame claims that this was a content creator he was helping with editing.
I have been assisting a new content creator over the last few days with editing and building her first video. Her name is Supergirl, and she will be taking out the cheating streamers in-game.
This Supergirl is definitely not Call of Shame. I mean, on the About page of her channel, she did use the exact same kind of weird, unnatural English that Call of Shame uses, but just ignore that part. Apparently, he is now saying that Supergirl had nothing to do with Call of Shame. That's odd because on her About page, it says Call of Shame was doing her editing. Man, what kind of weird, creepy rabbit hole have I stumbled into? And as I pointed to earlier, the channel Boren also did a more general video about Call of Shame and the Riley situation. Now, despite all of these videos getting hardly any views, Call of Shame's response has been pretty funny. He immediately started scrubbing videos from his channel, deleting dozens, and he released a video response I briefly mentioned before, including that example of pretending that an AI summary was the Book of Leviticus. But he's also posted some pretty funny text dumps trying to pretend that these old, cringe behaviors weren't actually him. According to Call of Shame, he was only one of 8 original creators, and primarily worked behind the scenes as a researcher. But now he has taken full ownership of the channel. Apparently, he'd only begun editing about 3 months ago. He says that all of the older content on the channel belongs to the original creators. This is a very interesting claim, given that for the past few years, going back as far as 2022, the videos on this channel were always making the same claims about working at Symantec,
but it's what I am used to. I was able to locate and fix vulnerabilities within Symantec's first double firewall, saving a huge embarrassment on release. I headed a team over at Symantec that specifically worked to stop the injection of DLL. I headed a team over at Symantec that specifically worked to stop the injection of DLL.
What does that even mean, on the front lines of cybersecurity and anti-cheat technology. I worked on Symantec's double firewall, where my mission was clear. Identify.
Was Norton working on anti-cheats? Ever?
No.
You just said that, right?
Did he?
Symantec, I guess, is a sub company or whatever the fuck of the Norton antivirus shit, right?
Yeah.
Injection of DLL.
I've spent decades on the front lines of cybersecurity and anti-cheat technology. I worked on Symantec's double firewall, where my mission was clear. Identify threats and stop them.
And with Microsoft,
my team participated in a Microsoft anti-bribery and anti-corruption program when we were working on a popular Microsoft title. Our job was simple: catch cheaters and publicly display them on the leaderboards. I was also in charge of an independent team of developers that worked with Microsoft Studios with one goal in mind: to catch cheaters. I headed a team of experts where we literally wrote the entire source code for player stats.
Like,
I've
I'm
worked with
just
Microsoft Studios to
like, why
at the highest level in many RTS games. I've worked
What
with
the fuck are
Microsoft
we doing,
Studios
man?
to stop cheating
This
at
is
the highest
crazy.
level in many RTS games.
Later, I collaborated with Microsoft to track down cheaters in Age of Empires, which, by the way, I still play to this day.
and creating the Guardian anti-cheat.
If my
I just
Oh, fucking Christ. It's brilliant.
I think I feel more bad for people that are like, yeah, they're all cheating. See, look, they source this.
Yeah.
They source this guy. That's their
God.
See, look. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, with the fucking
Christ.
Play to this day.
And creating the Guardian anti-cheat.
If my Guardian anti-cheat was ready and allowed by Activision, I know for an absolute fact, I would have caught every single one of them. Soon, it will be ready to be used on the competitive scene, and it will finally put an end to cheating once and for all. I've specifically designed Guardian to now detect PS4 Windows malicious scripts. I am working hard behind the scenes to really make a difference to the cheating problem. Guardian is now ready. Today, I sent everything to Activision, including the full source code. It detects cheats, scripts, Cronus, DS4 exploits, and so much more. I've created an anti-cheat to stop cheating in Call of Duty Warzone. Guardian is ready, and it's hungry for cheating streamers. Guardian has awoken, and it's hungry for cheating streamers. Let me introduce Guardian Defender. This is designed to be executed while a streamer is searching for a game. This will detect if the cheater is using Warzone Agent, and many other things designed to cheat in the World Series of Warzone. It will not detect cheat software, such as aimbot or walls. That's for Ricochet. I believe if you really wish to reach the finals, it must be done fairly.
I'm
Software
impressed that
is
he
free,
can actually
and anyone can
go
download
through
it,
with this.
and it's available now.
And be like,
Simply head over to callofshame.net and go to the download section.
I think he's throwing so much shit
Don't
at his
listen to
audience that
anyone
they're
attempting to
getting-
discredit
they're
my
getting
work.
confused or whatever.
My software has been digitally signed,
Bro,
reaching the highest
give me all,
possible
give me
level
your
for
channel,
software
give me all your views.
authentication.
Actually, fuck your channel. Just give me all your
6
views.
months we've been developing
Your subs.
Guardian True Sight.
Not bad.
This is a
God
uniquely
damn it.
trained AI-based anti-cheat system from Guardian Labs. It's powered by advanced computer vision technology, specifically engineered to analyze Call of Duty gameplay with surgical precision.
I've even written my own anti-cheat, and no,
Genius.
I didn't use kernel-level access. I used
Where do I send my money at?
infiltrate cheat sites, analyze loaders, extract cheat signatures, and break them down into raw data. And then, just to make things harder for cheat developers, I converted those signatures into what I called angelic script.
God.
It was an innovative approach.
What
and
does that even mean?
I developed Ricochet Trust Score, software that leverages user mode
Analytical
anti-cheat techniques to
biomechanic
validate
measures,
a player's
like-
PC integrity before the game even boots, using secure boot and TPM long before they became industry standards.
So according to this story, despite not being an editor and being only one of 8 researchers, the channel always exclusively used Call of Shame's credentials specifically and no one else's. And the other creators, despite being not Call of Shame, were always just talking as if they were the ones creating the Guardian anti-cheat. And they were doing this for years. So it's quite convenient that none of the other 7 people's credentials or history were ever mentioned anywhere. And they were all completely fine shilling Call of Shame's anti-cheat tools only and nothing that they'd ever done. And Call of Shame wasn't removing videos to hide evidence. No, it was because the previous creators, the ones that no longer exist, were extremely connected within the television and music industries. And because they were so connected, they were able to freely use copyrighted materials from the movie Kick-Ass and Sia's music and even the Game of Thrones theme. Wow. Not only was Call of Shame on the best esports team in the world and worked with all of the biggest companies and created the best anti-cheat ever and is a genius with an amazing published, peer-reviewed PhD thesis and works with the FBI, but his co-workers on this channel were balls deep in the music and film industry. It's a shame we'll never learn about who these 7 dwarfs were, because I'm sure they all have fascinating stories. And it's a giant shame that none of these other 7 dwarfs have ever come forward to identify themselves. They just shilled Call of Shame's work for years, taking no credit of their own, and then simply vanished like a fart in the wind as soon as the channel received the tiniest amount of pushback from people looking into it. In any case, these mysterious other creators that were never referenced in any videos are all conveniently gone now, and Call of Shame has risen like a phoenix as the sole owner. And apparently, despite losing 87% of the channel's workforce, video output wasn't affected at all, despite Call of Shame having a full-time job. And in another amazing coincidence, it was Call of Shame's voice that was chosen to be the voice of the channel and not one of the other creators.
YouTube's upcoming policy changes may restrict channels from using AI voices, which could have affected us making our videos. To stay ahead and make sure there are no issues, we'll be switching from an AI-generated voice to a real human one. This way, we can continue bringing you content without interruption.
What you're hearing now is the new voice for Call of Shame. Yes, this is my real voice. To be precise, it's actually the voice of one member of the Call of Shame team who has been appointed as the official voice of the channel. As many of you know, several people contribute to how the channel operates and create content. But one voice has now been selected as the main voice of reason.
Gee whiz, the coincidences are really starting to stack up here. Now, I know this is all very confusing, but let me just make sure everything is crystal clear. Since 2022, the Call of Shame channel has been talking in the first person about creating the Guardian anti-cheat software, and has been talking in the first person about working at Symantec, and with Microsoft, and being on the best esports team in the entire world. But that was not Call of Shame. That was in fact 7 other people whose backstory or work was never brought up. It was them who pretended to be a girl on this channel by using the voice of a little boy. Not Call of Shame. He would never do such a weird and creepy thing. He's innocent. The funniest claim in this post, however, is that the voice used in these videos is apparently Call of Shame's real voice. And if it sounds weird to you, it's just because he runs it through a non-expressive engine to keep things calm and consistent. Well, I guess that clears that up. No further questions. I honestly don't know what is more bizarre here. The fact that this channel exists, or the fact that people actually believe that Call of Shame isn't some batshit insane fraudster who has faked basically everything about his channel, career, and so-called anti-cheat software. There is one more thing regarding Riley's play that I need to discuss because I had so many comments about it under my last video. People were claiming that Riley's skill level jumped up dramatically from the first day of the beta to the second. And this is definitely true. Her skill level did jump up dramatically. The channel 10IQ Gaming has a video exposing this.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, boys. Big aim moment. Ready? Here we go. Oh, can he land a shot? Oh, he missed. He overshot it. No way he missed. Damn. What a fuck trash can. Oh, we're coming down. No, we're going off to the right. That's the wrong way. Oh. Okay. We landed a bullet. Oh, no.
This?
Oh, no. That's not going to do it. No, the recoil is just too much. I really don't understand how this 16,000 hour player just can't handle recoil. Like,
no,
he's gonna run away. Look, he's gonna run away. He's gonna retreat and run away. Oh, if he didn't get the kill, literally in that bullet, he was going to run away around the corner. The only kills that he gets, the literal only kills that he can land is kills where a player doesn't know he's there. That's the only time he wins a gunfight. If it's a fair gunfight, every single time he just gets crushed. So when do we get to see the aim training skill? Is that in the stream or
would you say this on?
Make a play or just get back?
He said only time she kills someone is when they're not looking at them.
Yeah. I heard that prayer, but
right?
Yeah, I heard that prayer, but I don't get what is he trying to like say here? He mentioned the guy that we're watching, right? He's saying what this is Catgirl's first day or something or some shit like that.
Yeah, and look how bad they are. Then all of a sudden they inject the cheats and now they're good. Is what I assume this person's saying.
It does like what I mean. There's something called warming up, right? And you're not gonna be 100%. Like even if you have like thousands of hours in another battlefield or whatever, there's still an adjustment phase. You have to adjust. So you might not be your best the first day, but like
I
all you
agree.
gotta do is adjust. like what are we talking about, man?
And there's also a little detail for Catgirl's gameplay, which is up here. The frames. From day one to day two, the frames double for her. So, which I played on lower frames. It sucks ass. It sucks, especially from going up to like 144, right, and then coming down to like 60. It's like, oh my god, it's like basically it's just a terrible experience. It really is.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So this is the frames that are being showed. This is on Catgirl's stream?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But either way, this guy was saying that she just shoots people in the back. That's her only kills. But someone was shooting her in the back. She turned on them and destroyed them.
Doesn't know he's there. That's the only time he wins a gunfight. If it's a fair gunfight, every single time he just gets crushed. So when do we get to see the aim training skill? Is that in the stream or does this scrub ever?
The aim looks fucking fine.
Or just get backhanded around this lobby. Oh.
As you can tell, this is very deep and thoughtful analysis. But there is actually a key difference between day 1 and day 2, and it's the frame rate. Notice in the day 1 clips, the frame rate is double digits, and on day 2, the frame rate is a consistent rate of over 200. 10IQ Gaming doesn't seem to think that frame rate matters, and asserts that this is just an excuse.
From noob to pro overnight.
And just day 1 to day 2.
I don't give a fuck if you play
big difference.
Kovac and you're used to 300 FPS, bro, you're still gonna have some skill at fucking 90. And not just be a total fucking bot struggling to get more than 3 kills per game.
I didn't see bot.
Yeah, you're still gonna have some skill, but it isn't.
To just dominate.
He's looking for perfection.
However, this just seems to be a huge display of ignorance. It's a
established
proven fact that the frame rate drastically affects aim. In 2019, Linus Tech Tips
they're looking for whatever little
experiment
excuse they can to justify, like, I just, god damn it, dude.
Like if you put out your best fucking clip ever, you don't play like that 24/7, like in every fucking game.
No, exactly.
But that's
like a lot of montages are just straight up a few clips a game, man. Like
exactly. But it'd be perfect every game where it doesn't. You're cheating. Cheating, bro.
different
But wait,
frame
what-
rates
that
and
was-
its effect on.
Okay, that was, I guess. Yeah, I guess that was an entire stream, but at the same time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'd have to watch it. This 10IQ gamer or gaming, whatever
Yeah,
the fuck his name was.
it seemed like what they were talking about was an actual stream by Catgirl.
Yeah.
But yeah, frame rate and all that shit plays to it. First day, whatnot, yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
AIM, an experiment which included a couple of professional gamers. And in this experiment, it showed that for the flick aim test, which is exactly the type of aiming that Riley is being called out for, aiming ability doubled, going from 60 FPS to 144 FPS. That is a monstrous difference in aiming between the two frame rates.
Damn, Paul.
Shroud himself confirms that FPS is the most important, specifically when it comes to this type of aiming.
When you're scanning around a map, do you think having a higher refresh rate monitor helps you identify a target more quickly?
That's where I'd say it helps you the most, because when you're moving, the faster you move, the harder it is to see on 60 hertz. If you're, I mean, the reaction time is kind of a good way to put it, I guess, because like when you're looking at a still image, nothing's going to change, but once everything's moving around, it's going to get a lot harder. So yeah, absolutely. Going from 60 to 144 is like night and day for me, obviously, right?
And also, it's worth noting that players who practice a lot in aim trainers like Kovacs are dealing with extremely high frame rates all the time. So going from what they are used to down to double-digit FPS is especially disorientating. In Linus's experiment, the streamer Grims performed the best at 60 FPS precisely because it was what he was most used to.
So you were the 60 hertz king today. Not only did you nail more double door shots than Shroud and Corey combined, I think, you also scored equally on your bomb site defense between 60 and 144.
I don't know. Like, I mean, like I mentioned before, like 60 hertz was, you know, pretty much like my main thing for a while. And then finally moving on, it like when I switched to 60 hertz, it all kind of felt familiar, with, like the delays,
controller player,
timing, and all that stuff. So I was kind of able to just pick it up right away.
Also in 2019, Nvidia conducted a study measuring the impact of frame rate on first-person shooter performance, and found a direct correlation between the kill-death ratio and frame rate.
So we've explained some of the fundamental concepts, but why is this important? Why does high frame rate matter? What we have here is a chart that plots the correlation between high frame rate and success in a first-person shooter. In this case, what we've done is measured kill-death ratios in battle royale games like Fortnite and PUBG, and as you can see, there's a correlation between higher frame rates and higher kill-death ratios. If you're interested in the study, please check out the link below.
So not only do we have experiments proving directly that a higher frame rate improves aim, but we also have statistical analysis that also shows that a higher frame rate results in much better performance metrics. So regardless of whether or not you think Riley is cheating, comparing day 1 to day 2 is an extremely weak and disingenuous argument, given that we can plainly see her frame rate more than doubled between these two streams.
He's stomping
so
dust
her
down,
aiming
like,
ability was
they're already
going to
dead, they're
improve
on the ground,
dramatically
on
no
their way
matter
to-
what,
they've been bombed
given
3
this
times.
increase. And when you couple
Now it's nothing
that
but
with the
dust
simple
left, and
fact
still
that people
stomping on it.
improve on their second day of performing any task, this increase in skill is not surprising at all and is even to be expected. But people like 10IQ Gaming don't seem to appreciate very basic concepts like the effect of FPS on performance, which has been very clearly established for many years. And then based on this ignorance,
And
they'll
it's something,
use this
if he is a
so-called
gamer, he
evidence
should
to claim that Riley is
experience
cheating.
himself.
And then his viewers will flood my comments telling me I'm the one who doesn't understand what I'm talking about. It's quite ironic. People have also claimed that Riley's weapons have no recoil, and this is because the weapon doesn't start aiming upwards when she holds down the trigger. And again, this seems to be based on ignorance. It's as if the concept of recoil management doesn't exist. Here is Riley demonstrating that recoil exists, but you can just mitigate this by subtly moving down the mouse to compensate. I assumed this was a skill most people would be familiar with. What's incredible to me is that despite the amount of displays of ignorance these people make, their confidence level never seems to drop or falter.
significantly
They
easier.
originally
But most
claimed that
players
Riley
are
should be a
controller,
pro and that
thus
she is
they
a
don't
great
understand
player
what they see.
because her aim
Really
is
funny.
good, which I showed
Yeah.
was
Scripts,
demonstrably false. And when you look at Riley's stats for both beta periods, they aren't good at all. Shroud's kill-death ratio was
They're not.
6 times higher. They claimed that Riley perfectly locked onto an enemy behind a rock, which I showed was
Shroud
impossible
is
to
cheating,
tell
obviously.
and unlikely.
Yeah,
They
straight up,
claimed
he's
that she
cheating.
couldn't have known someone was there. And I
This dude
showed
was
that
Shroud,
the enemies
Shroud
were on the
is.
minimap in that direction for almost 10 seconds before that clip began. They claimed that Riley was snapping perfectly to players in smoke that were invisible, when I showed that in the original footage, the enemy was clearly visible and the snap wasn't perfect at all. They will claim that Riley
I
perfectly
can
snaps
almost
to
guarantee
enemies, when it's clear
that
when you slow
Shroud
down
was
the
probably playing like this right here. He's probably had clips just like this,
Mhm.
like what we were saying.
Yeah.
Very similar clips.
But he's probably like,
It's like,
at least
it's like yo, call a shame. Make a vid on Shroud, man. Call him out.
it's probably like that dude's just like Catgirl's trying to make it somewhere, right? With their gaming clips and all that shit. Shroud's chilling, so he can play with like his friends or other gamer, like famous gamer, like Tim the Tap Man or whatever the fuck, and just like relax and play games and have fun and like all that shit.
Yeah.
Versus like searching for clips all the time, right? So,
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, I'm sure Shroud has some crazy, but like holy shit.
Oh yeah.
moments.
Well, that's like pretty much him. Yeah. Exactly what you're saying. Like chill streams, but at the same time, you know, you want to play in an entertaining way.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see that type of play. It's like yeah, you're good at the game.
Yeah.
You want to watch someone that's good at the fucking game.
Oh yeah, and
That's the
he does
entertainment.
reviews too. Like he kind of like not like full scale reviews, but like kind of like, all right, these are my impressions of the game. They need to fix this mechanic or fix this or the fucking it's a little buggy or whatever the fuck. So he puts it to the test by like trying to do all the shit that everyone knows he can do. And if it's like something like stuttering or frame rates suck ass or whatever the fuck, you can like review it that way.
Yeah.
But Catgirl's definitely like trying to like, I want like four dead people in a row, like just boom boom, like me in the kill feed, four straight names of me, right? Like sort of clipping everyone, like that makes sense. And even once again, my lack of understanding of all of it, I can look at the way she was playing and be like, oh no, that doesn't scream cheater to me. It just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It screamed like someone who fucking all sweaty tryhard, but not so much. But I could see why people would think cheating because of the snapping, right? You can see them miss shots, and I know there's like delay, like hit markers sometimes, and people get maybe tricked by that, or they hit like a bullet and their aim moves away from someone, and they're missing bullets right now. But on the screen, you can see like the hit marker on your crosshairs, right? And they think that means you're hitting every single bullet when they're not actually doing that. But,
yeah.
All right, here we go.
footage, this is almost never the case. Originally, it was the snapping that was the aimbot, and the flick to the rock was proof of cheating. Then it changed to the snaps not being proof of anything, and it was instead Riley using soft aim. They will claim that Riley improved too much between day 1 and day 2, even though the 2 days are clearly differentiated by a drastic change in FPS, which explains the difference perfectly. They will even lie and say that Riley was banned by EA and used multiple accounts. They will lie about Riley's ban in 2024, claiming that Twitch never makes a mistake and that Riley's appeal was denied. They will use conflicting logic when it suits their agenda, claiming that exposing Shimmy and kicking him from the team is proof that Team EXE protects cheaters and thinks cheating is acceptable. They will manufacture evidence, take quotes out of context, and manifest non-existent quotes into reality. And despite all of these mistakes, all of this ignorance, all of this flip-flopping, and all of this dishonesty, their certainty level that Riley is cheating remains and will always remain at 100%. And in contrast, despite me showing that all of their claims are completely misguided at best and intentionally fabricated at worst, I still have not, nor will I ever, say that Riley isn't cheating. Though of course they will continue to claim that I am defending Riley or that I think she isn't a cheater, and they will continue to mischaracterize.
That same thing goes in the world of politics. What's wrong with saying like I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that? But when it comes to content creation and you're trying to get the most views or whatever, or have the most sensationalized content on planet Earth, yeah, you have to be like, I'm a genius that knows every little thing that happens every time, like in any situation on any topic. Like I have to know every little answer of everything. Because if you say like, well, I don't know. Oh, fuck this guy. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go watch someone else. Maybe that's their idea of it. I don't think that's actually real. Honestly, I think people like people being honest with them. But maybe in the content creator's mind, you have to be 100% certain on every little thing all the time.
But at the same time, it's like you should be thinking ahead. Like, oh, what if you're wrong? Then you got to make like an apology video and all this shit. Like,
yeah.
I feel like they should be thinking about stuff like that. But it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you don't know about something, like why, like, voice your opinion publicly and look like a fucking idiot? It doesn't make any sense.
Teddy, I have no problem with opinion. Like, say your opinion. Just let us know it's just your opinion instead of, I have a PhD and I have these white papers and peer-reviewed studies and, like, that's different, man. Like, when you're trying to use, like, an appeal to authority, like, I worked at Microsoft. That means I know what I'm talking about over here. Like, no, it fucking doesn't.
Yeah.
I worked in the White House. That means I know about politics. Like, no, it doesn't. Doesn't mean that at all. You have to show me things and like back it up with some sort of evidence. You can't just say shit. You know, you can say your opinion, like, oh, I feel like this guy's lying to me. I feel like this guy's lying to me. That's your feelings about a certain other person. Doesn't make it true. Just means it's your feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. But like when you just leap out and say this guy's this or that lady's that, that's when shit gets a little bit weird. That happens all over.
Yeah, exactly. Like like that's what I mean. Like when you're doing that, it just makes no sense, man. I just should be thinking ahead, man. Because like you could say your opinion, but at the same time, it's like where are you getting this information? Like, how are you sure? Like, if you're not, then why is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I value, me personally, and anything I look at, I value like where a person's coming, like their feelings about it. I value that as much as the hard facts of a situation. I really I value both of them equally. It's just some things go like a leap too far. You know, there's things where I feel like I have someone like stone cold caught. I'll bring up all the evidence, like here, this person for me feels like they're stone cold caught. But I'll say, hey man, I'm gonna leave them room just in case, they got tricked by someone instead of them just being liars. Maybe they got tricked by someone else, which can happen, right? Especially in politics. So like I leave room for that possibility. Although my language will definitely be sounding like reassuring, like this guy's full of shit, bro. Fuck this guy, they're full of shit. But I do think it's important to let people know that, like, well, that's how I feel about that. Or that's my humble opinion, or whatever the fuck. It's just, these guys, in a way, are kind of attempting to be their own celebrity in a way, or something like that, or like the authority on something, or this guy's known for this thing. You can't be wrong about it. Like, I think at the end of the day, honesty would win overall. But I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that as far as like what people choose to watch, but I think honesty, just whether you're seeking money only, if you're seeking celebrity, if you're seeking just trying to like tell a truth to someone or be honest, like I think honesty will always win the day at the end of it.
Yeah.
But I've seen too much fuckery, bro. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah.
Just good luck if someone makes a mixtape. I say that in politics all the time. Someone makes like a mixtape about you. Like you say all these things for years and years and years and years, and then someone makes a mixtape of all your fucking bullshit statements, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happened to Call Shame right here, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
You found the wrong guy
this
to dig into your shit.
Yeah.
Good.
He's just blatantly full of shit for sure. Like with everything we've seen, like right now.
Yeah. But I once again I leave him room too. Like it's like fuck, because my intuition when I first saw the guy, I'm like, nah, this guy, he ain't it. Like from the style of it to the things this person's saying, and then there's situations where it's like, no, this is easily explainable. Person could be cheating for all we know, but the example you're using, nah, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even from like a novice playing like Warzone or something, like it just didn't make sense as far as him leaping on that. Then I didn't see any fucking cleanup of it. Of like, oh, okay, I fucked up over here.
Yeah.
I got this wrong. My bad. None of that. It just went on with their AI voice fucking shit. I'm like, first of all, your style was already corny to me, but now that I see like it seems like you're full of shit, I'm fucking out of here. I'm done. And then lo and behold, here he comes again, popping up somehow. And I mean randomly. I'm like, yeah, what's the Karl Jobst guy? Because I watch him for like, because he goes over the speed running stuff, and I find those like interesting. Even though I don't play the games, but it's like fun to watch. Whatever, a speed run of something, zombies or fucking Elden Ring or whatever the fuck, right? It's like fun to watch. Yeah. And I saw this video. I'm like, all right, cheaters. Okay, that's entertaining. Let me click on it, and it led down. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the parallels, the absolute parallels in the world of politics is chef's kiss. Just it's fucking there. It's just so 1-to-1 with each other. And if you look at it, the end goal might seemingly could be around the idea of money, of making money off of this shit.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely frustrating.
I have a strong feeling that's exactly what it is.
I mean, hey,
pretty much,
who knows where this video goes? Like the Karl Jobst guy, he's a big content creator. He's like a 1 million subscriber guy, right?
Yeah.
Gets guaranteed like 1 million views in every video or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And who knows if this Call of Shame guy just closes up shop, deletes the fucking channel, disappears, walks away with the riches he made. Maybe he comes back in the future with a different voice in a different whatever, and starts claiming everyone's cheating again and just lives off that. Who knows? Who fucking knows? But all right, let's let the conclusion of this video happen. Here we go.
Yeah.
My positions and motives. They will continue to do this because they won't be able to address the actual content of my videos. Personally, I don't know if Riley cheated, either now or in the past. As I said in my previous video, the only thing I know for certain is that the most outspoken Riley detractors are the ones who are spreading the most misinformation. Every single point they have raised can be adequately explained, or is just a complete lie so an explanation isn't even required. And until actual concrete proof of cheating or a confession is provided, I will continue to remain skeptical, as should you. Recently, someone posted to my Discord a screenshot that perfectly encapsulates a hurdle that I've always faced when I release my videos. They posted my previous Riley video to a Discord they were in, which was met with this response. Karl once again proving he's on the back foot of a topic by being a week late to the party to reignite drama. To this person, and to many people, taking your time to investigate a situation and craft a more thought-out response is a bad thing. Me taking my time to make sure what I'm saying is correct and taking my time to try and understand a situation as best I can is a fault. For the life of me, I don't understand how one can arrive at the conclusion that spending more time thinking about an issue or spending more time to ensure accuracy is a character flaw and something that people should avoid or attack. And the fact that I release videos later than other people means that I'm doing something that should be criticized. It is simply impossible to make videos every day or just after an event and have any degree of certainty that what you're saying is correct. But it's shocking how many people just don't appreciate this concept. Whenever there is drama, there is always a race to see who...
If you're a reactor, which is mainly what I do, reactions to things. But like, I think it's important to put it in the context, once again, of opinions, of, if this is the case, this is how I feel about it. If this is the case, this is how I feel about it. Or, hey, I could be wrong about this, yada, yada, yada. And, but if you're doing, like, what Karl's doing here, which is, like, very in-depth, intricate, like, examinations of scenarios, that's totally different. That one, Yeah, you can still say your opinions on things for sure, but like he's doing a more like intellectually like vigorous style content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what he's saying now. There we go.
You can get their content out first. But being quick to produce content is directly correlated with how incorrect your content is. Personally, I will continue to take my time when investigating situations like this, and I will continue to produce videos that are far more well researched than those that are rushed out quickly by others in an attempt to capture an audience. And I really do appreciate those of you who understand that being late is a function of being thorough, not a function of laziness or an attempt to reignite drama, as this person and many other people will assert. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
And once again, he does that with like when he does speedrun videos, he examines all of it, and then he brings up past, like, oh, here's the past attempts at this, breaking this record, time record or whatever. Like, so he like that's his content. That's what he does. I say, fair enough. I am not that. I don't write things down. I am off the cuff. I let it fly. That's what I do. But like, there's room for. I think there's room for both of these things, for sure. Just don't be a lazy fucking cunt about it. Just be honest about it. That's all. Just be honest. But the way, apparently, like, I can only speak for like watching Asmongold. The way he handled this shit sounds like how he handles politics. He reacts. And because he knows nothing about anything in regards to politics, in my humble opinion, it just comes out like, what the fuck you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of who I was referring to. Clearly, like, the dude we watch, he's, like, full of shit. But Asmon is, like, he's not very knowledgeable on this at all. So it's like, you're saying what you have to say, but you don't really have the knowledge to really back it up, or like you didn't really go in depth. And just saying, oh, if there's someone this good playing, I usually just assume or generally assume that they're a cheater. It's like, what?
But, well,
if they're not on the pro team, like I generally assume that they're a cheater. Like, man.
But here's the thing, Daddy. He is relatively. Wouldn't he be like high level or relatively high level in regards to other genres of gaming? To thus, he knows like there's people that can do things that you can't like. They're just so fucking good. You don't know how to explain what they're doing, right? So wouldn't he take that context over to an FPS? Wouldn't he be like, maybe they're just really good, and I don't understand it?
He should, but he didn't. He should.
I think it's for the content. I really do. Just like his political takes. It's for the fucking content. And it's like, dude, like I can rattle off like there's times when I've like this months ago because I don't even give him a chance politics anymore. I just don't even watch this shit. But like when I was like giving it like looking at it, I'm like, dude, there's like 5 stories this week that you're not even talking about, but you're making these assessments of this is the scenario that we're dealing with. Like, but you skip the first 5 stories that are actually like very pertinent to this topic.
Yeah.
And it's like, how'd you, and like, once again, part of me, based on I guess mannerisms and the way his eyebrows are moving, I'm like, this guy fucking trolling everyone or something, like just trolling about this, and he's just doing the look what Trump did content. It's like okay, but I don't know. Sometimes it's what butthurt me is the seriousness of some of these topics, where it's like people's homes being blown up, people dying, whatever, like geopolitics, where there's like war and shit like that. And this guy is so willy-nilly about it, knowing that he has millions of fucking viewers. There's millions of people watching him. And he's like, dude, like, if you're going to do this, like, do it. Don't fucking just, like, oh, all right, let's listen to Trump's speech and know nothing about what's being said.
Yeah.
And just say, yeah, look, the woke people are going to be really mad about this one. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, people are dying over this shit. Straight up, people are fucking dying over this. And he's just like,
yeah,
it's actually frustrating, very frustrating.
Doing the same shit here, yeah.
And
Listen, man, I don't.
I got
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just not. Yeah, to some degree, like he should be experienced enough to be able to be like, okay, like there's people that are this good, but at the same time, like maybe he's just not at that level to where he can think like that.
But he knows his own. The fucking, what are they called? Like MMOs or whatever the fuck it's called, right?
Yeah,
The-
yeah.
right.
Yeah, he knows how to play MMOs and shit, but like I just
Well, it's not just that.
it's weird how you
He
can
knows
just
the gods, right? He knows the gods of that genre
Yeah,
of gaming. So thus he knows
Yeah.
he can see why these guys are so good, but other people might say they're cheating, right? He might be able to notice
Yeah.
that. So why doesn't he
Yeah, for
apply
sure.
that to his up to other
Exactly.
things?
Exactly.
I don't know, man.
Exactly. Like I don't know, like I just don't I don't know.
Keep talking.
Yeah, I just don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like he should be able to, but not just.
Oh, Teddy, where's his
What
fucking
happened?
channel? Where's his channel? Where'd his channel go? Did he
Who?
delete his fucking channel?
Oh, shit. No,
Call
he
Shame-
didn't. Definitely not.
Where's his
Definitely
fucking
not.
channel, Teddy? Where would it be at? The end? But you
Did
like
he
it or not,
actually
it's
delete it?
actually the end of Cole. He deleted this shit, bro.
No way.
I had to believe bro. I type in Call of Shame. He has like almost 200K fucking subscribers, right? He should be like one of the
There's
first
no,
channels.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no fucking way. All that just gone like that.
He's gone, bro. It's GG. He's done. He deleted his fucking channel, didn't he? What was I just saying?
I'm
I'm like,
seeing
yeah,
stuff from
watch this.
2 months ago, 4 months ago.
It's the strange collapse of Call of Shame. Call of Shame
Call
finally
of Shame
quits.
finally quit.
That's rah-rah, bro. He's a little weird to me too, but whatever. He's not the worst, but I've seen him with Call of Duty content. A little weird to me, but whatever. Yeah, his channel's gone, bro. Call of Shame quits after massive evidence drops. yeah. What did I say? I'm like, yo, let me check his channel at the end. Is this fool like?
There's no way. He just 200K subs just like that. You just
Bro,
delete your channel.
If you're that caught, you might do that shit. I don't know. Now, I don't know it's Happa, but like me and James made like a sketch or an animation, right? And he was in it, and we tagged him in it. He's like, "Oh, I love this. It's awesome." So I know of it's Happa, like the hacker hunting community type of shit, right?
Yeah.
And he's been like, "Yo, this Call of Shame guy's full of shit." Right? He's been saying it for a while. Like I said that before I even heard of it's Happa, but then it's Happa guy. He's a lot more locked in on the topic, right? He does like computer scans of people, and he knows about like discords and shit like that, Discord servers with cheat providers and all that shit. So he's like a little bit more locked into the scene. But he's been calling out Call of Shame since I heard him talk about Call of Shame. And I was like, yeah, I agree. This guy seems full of shit to me.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it makes
No
sense.
fucking way.
It makes sense, dude. It makes sense. And I'm like, yo, this guy's gonna remake a new account, change the AI voice around, come up with new credentials for himself, and say,
But bro,
look, this guy's cheating.
200K though, that's fucking hard to get, man.
That is very hard to get. Now, well, who knows if it's how many are bots, if he's view botting or not, or if it's legit.
Yeah.
I can't say I know.
I don't know.
Either way, maybe he's like, all right, I'm gonna cut my losses. I made enough money. I made some money here. Let me back out and try again somewhere else. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Fuck, he did a whole fucking storyboard, bro, for himself. Supergirl coming in, like, not like, I don't know if that could be a separate person for all I know, but it doesn't smell like that at all. It smells like it's just him, changing the AI voice around to some well, I guess it was some other character I never heard of, but whatever. I can see that 10 million miles away, and yeah, that's GG's for him.
Holy fuck.
He's done,
No way,
bro.
dude.
He's done, bro.
I don't know. Maybe some happen. But dude, my bad. I've been delaying these guys for like the past hour and a half, and calling me to play finals.
Oh yeah,
I'm down to
go do your
look
thing.
into this
Go do your
tomorrow if you're
thing.
doing that. But
Nah,
yeah,
go do your thing.
all right, man. Peace.
All right, dude. What the fuck is this? I don't know why this was recommended, and it has a similar subscriber count. Videos coming soon. Listen, YouTube. I can't say I know. I'm not going there. I'm not going there yet. I'm not going there yet. I might hit subscribe just to keep tabs. The divine. I type in call shame. You see call shame, call shame, call shame. Then the divine anchor. Then call shame, call shame, call shame. Yo, if that's the same thing. You can't change your ad though, right? You can't change. It says grace to God. I don't think you can change that around, can you? Yeah, Fuckface's channel. There's a. That call shame. Okay, so that has to be a different account. Pretty sure. That's just interesting that it's just in the area. So I'll keep tabs on that. But either way, okay. Let's leave it there. This is a pretty long video, but I was just very, very. Well, it wasn't curious. I watched this video already, but I just wanted to showcase the parallels, actually. And it's, once again, forget about video games or politics. It's more of, one, the idea of not leaving behind your intuition about things. About, like, hey, is this guy full of shit? Is he legit? Maybe I believe they're legit. Whatever. Whatever your reasons are, right? You try to look into it and do not throw away your, like, intuitive sense of things. At the same time, it's not good to just leap, right? You probably, like, as I said, like, very early on in the video, like, I like to try to use my, or try to use my logical sense of, like, if people are meaning well when they say things, right? I try to use that kind of logical reasoning where I hear them, like, bring up empathy, about care for the other, right? Even when, like, when I call someone full of shit, there's a caveat to it. It's not just strictly like they are shitty human beings no matter what. Like, there's like a aspect to it to where you don't throw away their humanity in regards to anything. Like, you can't, for me at least, I can't do that. But when I hear people that do that, at least in words, I'm like, I get instantly suspicious, bro. I just do. And as crazy as the story is of Call of Shame, I think this is a lot, like, very prevalent in the world of politics. Like, maybe not as overt to where you can, like, really just catch them. It involves probably much more dirtier hands, like secret meetings with Netanyahu or whatever, or secret meetings at the White House and shit like that, where it's like, damn, bro, like, there's one where you're being apathetic to people's lives being ruined. And then there's one where you're actually directly trying to sell the idea that would lead to lives being killed, that you're knowingly doing that. And if you don't think motherfuckers like that are running around here, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. And, forgive me, Tim Pool, but my mind leaps right to that guy. Where I'm like, oh my god, this guy is full of shit. The little in-between notes that just scream full of shit to me. But yet people apparently buy into him just on words he says, right? Just says, I'm this or I'm that. I'm moderate left. He just says it in words. And apparently there's a lot of people, enough people that jump in on that and believe that. Instead of, like, really, like, what does that mean? And how do you know that? How do you know that? He just said so? Now, maybe that's me because of my bullshit meter going off. But maybe it's the idea of, like, their bullshit meter being turned off to where they're not seeing that. Who knows? Like, I leave room, but I'm just saying. The dude moves like a weirdo to me. It is what it is. And he hasn't proven otherwise. Whether it's some sort of epiphany moment like Charlie Kirk or some other shit, right? He still moves in a weird, in the same weird way to me. But I don't know. I just thought it'd be an interesting perspective change by showing maybe more politically leaning people, showing them the gaming world and the kind of politics of the gaming world, and seeing like maybe similar behaviors, to realize that the problem is not just politics, or in these guys' case, gaming. That the problem is on the human level, and thus nothing will ever change. If you care to actually change anything, nothing will ever change by saying, well, those are games over there. Fuck that. They're video games over there. It's waste of time, stupid stuff. Like, no. That same human problem is over there or anywhere else. It's all over the fucking place. So thus it must be dealt with all over the fucking place. But you can't force it. Well, for me at least, you can't force anyone. You just try to do your best with who you are. Make sure you don't fall into these bullshit things, whether getting tricked by someone like Call Shame, if he's like that, or becoming someone like Call Shame, if he's like that. If you like that. Alright, there's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. There's a whole lot here. I have a feeling people will probably be more so doing like just listening in, I guess. So what I guess me and Teddy were saying, or the Karl Jobst guy, Jobst, and his kind of breakdown of this Call of Shame character, and then holy fuck. Once again, unplanned. I'm like, yo, let me check this guy's channel. It's apparently gone. Which means... But... Forgive me, but here's the real wreckage. If anyone makes it to this part of the video, here's the real wreckage for me. Is that this guy was here for years and years and years. I'm telling you, when I first started playing Warzone back when it first came out, right? Call of Duty Warzone. And then I started looking more into like how to do things in the game, right? Because I was kind of new to like FPSs. And then you start looking into like, oh, how do you know if someone's cheating? And this guy, Bad Boy Beeman, right? He'd make these videos about cheating and all that shit. And then someone like this popped out. Maybe he or she realized, or a team of people realized that this shit generates views. Whether it's correct or not, doesn't matter. It generates views. Maybe they realized that and jumped into the game and made all this bullshit up, and then maybe like a weirdo overextended. Like really overextended to where now they're an expert at every little thing. It could be pathological for all I know. I don't know. And ended up exposing themselves. But if this is the case, that this guy was some full of shit motherfucker, just making this channel to get views and make money off of it, it begs the question, as far as like, what other realms do minds that maybe work in a similar way? What would they be doing? You know, in other areas. You know, mainly wink wink politics, right? And gets caught, gets called out, boom, deleted. Deletes his own fucking channel. I'm telling you, in my humble opinion, in other content creators in regards to the world of politics, they have as much, if not more, of a laundry list. Maybe they're not dumb enough to say I work for Microsoft while bullshitting, right? But maybe they have other things that are actually absolute bullshit, and if they got exposed, those fools themselves might delete their own fucking channels. But just a thought, just an idea of possibilities. But you tell me in the comment section. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord if you want to join that. Please do so. All opinions welcome. I had to sneeze, sorry. My AI had to sneeze. Makes it look more realistic when you sneeze, yeah? Yes, please check out the Discord if you want to join that. All opinions welcome. All of them. If you love Call of Shame, if you hate Call of Shame, if you love Temple, if you hate Temple, all opinions are welcome. Just no grotesque shit like porn or, grotesque violence and shit like that. Also, I'll be sourcing. Well, I can't source Call of Shame's channel anymore, but I'll source both videos from Karl Jobst, the part 1 of this thing, and then this one that we just watched tonight. So please take advantage of the description box. Do it. And with all that said, please give this video. I'm trying to make it last for 3 hours. Pause. Is that a pause? Maybe it's a no pause. With all that said, give this video a thumbs down.